Why did Destiny just tell me to call him? Why did Destiny just tell me to call him?
It's a girl's name.
Why did Destiny just say to call him?
Then call him.
I'm calling him.
I think he's upset that you got the scoop with the brother and he didn't.
Scoop with the brother?
Yeah, you got the.
Oh,
got
I
the
actually
interview, you got
I
the
gave
scoop.
I gave him all this stuff for his brother. He said his brother said he'd be willing to talk to Destiny too. Yo, what's up, Steve? Hello?
He's gonna like ear rape.
Hello?
Yeah.
Oh, hello. Oh, he just like dipped out immediately when he heard that echo. Hello? Can you hear me better now? you coming? Is he okay? You good?
What? Are you
Hello?
okay?
No, it sounds like you moaned, dude. Are you good? Can you hear me?
I said hello.
Oh, hello, hi.
You talking out of a bathtub, bro?
It does sound like you're in the bathtub.
Oh, maybe I am. Maybe I'm just taking a bath. Hanging out.
Oh, no way. Do you even have like a bath? In all the Miami places we were at, I don't think they actually, no, they did have a bath there.
Yeah.
It seems like if you're living like one of those luxe apartments, they have mostly like those little floor showers because nobody takes baths anymore unless you're like a woman. But yeah, what's up, Steve? What's up?
Not much. Just playing my part, kind of bored. Seeing what you guys are up to.
I mean, we're just talking about girls and like the concept of like
Darius still wants to save Grace. Thoughts, Destiny?
So I use the analogy of like girls and people in general for me are kind of like, this is gonna be soy, but it's like a roguelike. You know what I mean? Like every time you have an issue with them, you kind of like knock yourself back down to like level 1 with them, and then you're kind of like, okay, like I need to figure out. I have a couple of traits that I learned, a couple of things I kind of understand, and I'll go and be able to get further in the level because I'm able to tolerate these behaviors more, and I can keep going. I can just like ignore, like I can ignore this room, these rooms, because I know they have the enemies that I hate, and I can keep going, and I can get past to the mission to like where I want to be. I get to where I want to go because now I understand. Now I get it. I know what I'm expecting out of this person, and if I get strong enough, I can even deal with that. But right now I'm not strong enough.
But advice? You're not making any sense.
No, I'm making sense. Steven, you know what I'm saying?
What are you trying to do with Grace? What does it do? Leveling up with women?
Okay, just in general, I feel like I have just in general, maybe because of my attachment issues, but like I feel like it just even goes with like sushi. I feel like I don't like the idea of just like giving up on people at all. And I don't. It's like it's just because I feel like if that was reciprocated towards me, I'd feel really bad. Like if like people.
At some point in your life, you have to realize that projects can always be worked on and improved because the thing that you're engaging with doesn't have any agency, right? Like you can get better at music, you can get better at soccer, you can get better at video games. But when you're talking about other people, the way that you engage with them, they might not want to, right? They might not want to improve in your eyes. They might be on a different path in life, or they just might have different desires or whatever. So you can't set your success on whether or not you, I guess, like try to save or help other people, because sometimes people fundamentally just might have different desires than you. There's something you can do to control that.
Well, yeah, but
Unless you start compromising yourself so much that you become miserable. Huh?
that's I guess the miserable part is like, can you just like not? Can you just avoid the part where you're miserable? And that's what I'm looking at, because when I'm looking at with other people, and like you have to look. Let's say someone doesn't want to engage with you that way. That's fine if they want to engage with me that way, but that keeps me from being miserable. Like with sushi, if sushi was like, hey, I need to be in a relationship with you in order to be happy, I'd probably be like, okay, we can't be dating, and then that would like. That suck for me because like we can't be talking, and that would suck for me because I wouldn't be able to talk to her anymore. But then like she would move on, and we'd be able to figure that out, and that'd be like I'm saying with a video game, I just would abandon that video game. We can't mesh at all. But with other people, like with Grace specifically, I met her in person. We were able to like talk about stuff, and then a really really fucking fucked up situation happened. A really fucking weird and bad and really disgusting situation happened. But if there was an opportunity for something else to happen again, I would know, okay, now I know what to expect from this person. They're literally going to be fucking crazy, and they're going to do random stuff. So I just need to put myself in situations where I'm never going to have that happen. Or I can never be in that situation where it could happen. And I don't know, like,
Yeah, but like some people are just gonna they want to be in those situations if they're gonna be in those situations. Like it's not your job to mold yourself to every single person that you encounter, right?
I mean, yeah, but I guess the ones that I find more interesting are kind of rare. So when I see the people that I do care about, I kind of like mold myself to be. I guess maybe that's like a bad thing, but I mold myself more to be around that person because I like and or I'm interested in that person. So I'm like, okay, I want to be around them more. So if I just like
Sure,
change,
and that's okay when it comes to like friendships, but relationships are a lot more two-way. Like there's going to be some foundational level of I guess like symmetry there that you both have to have a mutual desire to build something, right? Because a relationship is a thing that's worked on by two people. You can't just make that decision unilaterally and say, I'm just going to change myself to be in relationships with others and fix them and make that work. You're just going to make yourself miserable.
yeah, I guess with Grayson, my thing would be I want to have it more of a friendship rather than like a partnership or anything like that. At least when I hung out with her, I was like, okay, I really want to date this girl. I was like, okay, I think this girl's cool and I think she's pretty like she's nice to be around. But then like when the fucking random like autistic shit happened when it came up with her if she's getting fucked by her dad or not with her when I talked to her brother, it was like way too much. And I was like, okay, this is like making this person like go full bipolar.
Yeah, but the problem is you're viewing the I think you have a fractured view of a person and you're trying to pretend that the other parts of them aren't actually part of them as well. So you're saying that like this particular person is really cool, but when this happens and this happens, they're not cool, so I need to get rid of that. That other thing might just be who they are, right? Like something that's really important when you start dating a partner is to go through like really tough stuff where you have problems and issues, because that's when you find out like how do they communicate when they're upset? How do they resolve problems? Are they fair? Are they empathetic? Like sometimes those are things you only learn when you go through those problems. But if you have a problem with somebody that you go through and then they turn into a massive cunt, then the answer afterwards can't be, okay, well, this person is really cool except for when we ever have problems, so I need to avoid those problems. That person, when they're having the problem, that's part of who they are. So then you got to decide if you're okay with that person, right?
yeah, I guess I guess with myself then when I look at myself the way I sometimes handle problems I like if you I notice this is always something I keep doing and I get really mad is when I have problems like with Melina or like Sushi or I guess now Grace. What happens is when I get like really fucking agitated with these things like what I the feelings I have like the day or 2 days afterwards are like just like okay like I just want to understand kind of what happened and I want to talk to the person about it and then be good but that immediate reaction like after the dog stuff and all that stuff and we had that call whatever like I was like vehemently angry. I was like okay these people are like fucking like they're disgusting like I was just incredibly mad um and it's I mean, like I don't know I don't really like take that as like who the person is but I because I see myself doing those issues and I see that's
part of who you are. Is how
but that's something I don't want to be part of me you know what I mean it's something I'm working on at least I hope I'm working on it. So when I see other people and stuff like that, I'm like, okay, if these things are like bad and they cause people to leave them, I mean, there are obvious things. Unless some people are.
And how long have you been working on that? Several years, right?
Several years. I think it's something I've been thinking about like the last three, probably.
3 years?
Like something I've been like freaking out.
Yeah. Do you think you're gonna fix this in 3 minutes or 3 days
I
or
mean,
3 months with Grace?
yeah.
Also, you gotta keep in mind, adults are really hard, okay? I think I'm a pretty cool person. I think I'm pretty intelligent. I think I'm pretty successful. I think that there's probably, if you wanted to get a lot of information from me, things in life, there's a lot of things I could probably help with. The vast majority of people that I intersect with and have problems do not want any help from me whatsoever. They don't care what I have to say. They don't give a fuck what my experience is. They don't. So and I think I'm more successful than most people. So like if I have very little luck getting people to listen to me for the few times that I try, it just seems like in general, my feel is that most people, it's pretty rare or exceptional that a person is going to take time and be like, okay, you know what? I actually really need to change something and I really need somebody else's help to do it. It's exceptional when a person makes that decision, but they have to if they actually want help. You can't help somebody that doesn't want help, right?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, yeah.
And to be fair, even when they want help, it can be rather difficult. That was a situation that happened with
Sure.
my ex. Like when my ex wanted help for a while, and I was trying to help her, but shit just really didn't work out. Maybe I wasn't the right person. Maybe I don't know. A lot of complications, a lot of variables there. But it can be really hard to change old habits and stuff like that.
Dude, the feeling of like, I like even like after even the Grace thing, the feeling of like things staying the way they are. Maybe I just have to learn to deal with it. But like things staying the way they are is just so fucking like it just sucks, dude. It's like so. It just feels like such shit, dude. Like after like all that
No,
stuff
I agree.
after
Like,
this
what I was targeting, or go ahead.
I was like, after that stuff happened, and I was like, dude, I just want an explanation as to why. Like, because I literally, even with the whole Grace thing, like, I talked to them so much off stream and on stream. I was like, are you guys okay with this being recorded? Your life is like really fucking like just like weird. Like, it's really weird and it's bad. And like, I'm like, even when I was downstairs and I was going through their stuff, like, oh, like what could possibly be in this, fridge? Like, what could be on here? I asked them beforehand. I was like, are you guys comfortable with this stuff? Because like, it's all like this is all going to be online and like people are going to see this forever, and if I do stumble upon something weird, it's going to be like tied to you guys. And they were all like, no, this is it's W content, Darius, go ahead and do it. So like when that happens with like their brother, and I'm like okay, like I'm assuming this is okay, like, and I also want to talk to them about this. I'll talk to them off stream about it because I'm curious, because this is kind of weird. I don't want to be around you guys if you guys are doing weird shit. And they're like, oh, just go ahead and record it, it's fine. I'm like, and then after that they flip the fuck out on me, and they're like, you betrayed us, man, like blah 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 blah. I don't know what the fuck, like what the fuck am I supposed to, like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? Like I don't know. It's like
Yeah, the problem is, so this is just my, and you've had more experiences with them now, so maybe you disagree with my interpretations, it's fine. My feelings, when I look at that family, are that the father is essentially, he really is ultra hungry for some amount of online fame. He really wants to blow up somehow. And right now, I think he realizes that kind of like the best shot that he has is to try to get Grace to go viral, or use Grace essentially as kind of like a honeypot to bring other people into his universe in order to expand his presence online. So they're probably okay with you recording everything because to them, if you're not famous, all press is good press, all publicity is good publicity if you're not anybody. So they're desperately hungry for that viral moment. You might still do things that like upset them or trigger them, but at that point, they're just going to play into it for whatever gets them more virality, right? If they think that they can go big, if they think that they can make a big deal about something. You saw that they blew it up for Ethan Ralph's thing, hoping for viral clips. Like that's
it's so stupid though, because if it was smart, then they would want it to be more viral in like on my sphere rather than Ethan Ralph. Ethan Ralph is literal who cares, I guess. Like if like when we were like on the top of Kick or whatever, I was trying to wrap my head around. I was like, if they cared about the content or they cared about going viral, like we were on top of Kick through like the fucking meme stuff or whatever. That's still regardless of even if it's like fake viewers or whatever, you're on the top of Kick. New people are clicking on that link. People are looking at the page. People are gonna see what they're doing, and people are gonna be like, okay, like I can get into this family or I can get whatever. Instead, they chose to go through a path that's like, and I think this might go into the dad, because the dad is hungry for something, but I think he's hungry to be really big in this, like, because I had lots of conversations with him about like he was talking a lot about how like he thinks like the way you do your streams is like a dying breed or some shit, and I was like, dude, no, Steven does well at what he does because he has his niche of what he does, and he does this very well. Other people can't replicate it. He was like talking about Hunter Avalon, all this shit, and then he started talking about like Ethan Ralph, and he was like, this is the future, and I was like, how the fuck is Ethan Ralph?
What is Ethan? Did he explain?
He was like these panels of like people talking about political stuff, and it's like Judaism, whatever. This is the future, and I was like, dude, why do you believe this? This is not what the top viewers are getting online. This is what you genuinely like. This is what you genuinely want in your life. And when I see fucking Grace, who I talk to so much like privately, and she was like, I really want to be an influencer. I want to do all this stuff, but I don't really care about politics. I'm like, dude, like, why the fuck are you? Why are you letting her involve herself in this? Let her involve herself in other stuff similar to what I do.
Yeah, that's how you have you have a huge problem right now, okay? And I had this huge problem. It took me Max and Lavloon to learn this. Is most people don't have, especially people that fancy themselves as little psychopaths or whatever, they don't really have it in them to do this kind of Machiavellian approach to building relationships with others, right? Like a truly devious individual would be like, you watch Death Note, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know how like Light was like he was friends with people while he was fucking them over at the same time. Like that's kind of how we would imagine most people that are abusive or narcissistic would act. That's how I assume that Axe would act. And so like in my world, when I've constructed his personality, like there's no way. That's why I trusted him so much, because like he's not gonna fuck me over. I'm literally his sole lifeline to the world, and I knew that at the time, and it's true now. He's basically completely fallen off the edge of the internet, but when you're dealing with people who are mentally unwell, who have really unhealthy ways of moving through the world, predicting their actions can't be done through a Machiavellian lens. You've got to use like other lenses to do it. So like the dad, for instance, is incredibly manipulative, incredibly abusive, but also has a really hard time, I think, perceiving how other people perceive him. He doesn't understand what he looks like sometimes, or he thinks he can talk or argue his way out of things more than he actually can. But the reason is because he's only ever surrounded himself with other people that he's abused.
Yeah,
right?
which is like it's like a
With
family.
Grace is completely subservient, and it's sad too because I think Grace is actually smarter than her dad. Grace is a smart girl, but she's completely mentally subsumed by the dad. Her entire existence is serving as like an arm to whatever he's trying to accomplish online. So she's essentially like his little tool to try to get fame in the world, and that's all she'll ever be unless she can find a way to break out of that environment mentally, which I don't even know if she could do that. But
Yeah, okay, so like when situations are okay, so is this a bad thing then? Because when you say that right there, I was thinking like the only thing that
I know exactly
we're talking about breaking it, and I mean this is not like I'm not trying to save her or anything like that, but like she's never been away from her dad. Okay, from what I talked to her about for like the last like 4 years, never been away from her dad. She's going to apparently be in LA for the weekend, and it's gonna be away from her dad. Wouldn't like, and she's been like for the last like 3 months, she's been just like randomly crying because she's like, I don't want to fucking like, she does like streams and she literally just has outburst streams. She's like, I don't want to be a part of this, whatever. And like, if she goes to LA and she's surrounded by, because what's gonna happen is she's gonna go to LA, and what's gonna happen is her dad's gonna try to get her involved with like a whole bunch of like the political stuff that he cares about, like that Dick Masterson stuff, random stuff between their like weird orbiters, which is like some homeless guy and other like Ethan Ralph type shit. If like she was involved with other things that weren't related to him, like
I understand what you're saying, but like, do you remember when Kanye West said that like slavery was like a mindset? Or do you remember in Game of Thrones? Do you remember Reek?
No.
The way that like this type of manipulation or abuse works, it doesn't work in that like Grace is not living in fear every day that the dad is going to like fuck her over, that the dad is forcing her to do things that she wants to do, or that she doesn't want to do. Like she has completely and totally integrated his desires for her, and she lives that in her life. Like even if she gets away from him for a few days, she's gonna hold on to that. It's not like she's like desperately hoping somebody saves her. She thinks she's completely in control of her own destiny. She thinks she's completely in control of her own life, that all these desires, everything are her own. So no, I don't think her going to LA for a few days, she's not gonna be like, oh my God, like I'm finally free. This is awesome. She's probably gonna be like texting her dad and reporting back every day, thinking of things that he'd want her to do, and that's gonna be her like general approach to being in another place. Maybe if you could break her out for like months, maybe, or at least like several weeks, maybe not to every day.
Yeah, so saying like it's apparently it's supposed to be like a whole like 7 days, but still it's like I don't know, like which exactly what you're saying. So I'm trying to think of it like when I was with like my exes and stuff like that, and I would go on like vacations away from them. But like it's like there's that time where like I took like a vacay. Well, actually no, I could just talk about the Melina thing. When I went to go hang out with Melina, and I was like not really having to worry about stress for like multiple days. I was like, okay, this is like so much better. And when I go home, I want to like it gave me like a perspective at least. Where I was like, okay, like there is stuff better out here that exists. Like when I got my first like girlfriend over, and I flew out to go see her, and I didn't have to like deal with all my stuff online. And then she showed me like the ferry in Washington State and a whole bunch of random other shit. I was like, wow, there's a lot. I actually do like traveling. I actually like being outside, and that's kind of how I was able to, want to travel and want to do things more outside and not just be like a neat playing video games all day. And I mean, I'm just projecting, of course, my shit, but like. I don't know. I figure it's a possibility that could exist with them, but then it's like I'm also if that doesn't happen for me, I don't think.
I think it's a bit different because your struggle was mainly internal, meaning you didn't have an external person forcing a worldview on you. So the problem is that like I think when you're in another area and you're starting to realize like okay, like I actually feel better here, or like this is okay, or like if I'm getting a lot of shit from somebody, I don't like that. The issue with Grace is that her worldview has basically been installed in her from another person. So the thing that is going to be really confusing for her is that if she ever feels bad, if she feels traumatized, if she feels because another person has kind of like taken control of her narrative or her frame, the issue is going to be that when she feels bad, she's not going to think she needs to get away from that person. She's going to think she needs that person even more because something's wrong with her. That's the issue with you're dealing with somebody that's essentially been groomed. So their entire worldview has been subsumed into this like other person. And every problem, every time they feel bad, they're just going to feel like it's even more their fault and that they need the other person even more to help them and guide them out of things. But that's like the issue with dealing with an abuse victim. And since she's not a minor, since she's an adult, she's fully within her rights to make those decisions and continue pursuing that for as long as she wants.
All right. So then, from your point of view, Stephen, what's Darnell's play? Like we're going to California to go for what is it, Anime Expo, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and she's probably going to intercept. She's probably going to stream snipe you. I imagine.
They were on their stream earlier saying that they were going to sit outside of Anime Expo and like protest or something. But I was like, what are they protesting? I don't know I don't know what the fuck that was about. But they said they were going to sit out there and protest. So I'm imagining I'm going to see them at some point if I'm streaming the whole thing.
Yeah.
So I like if that happens, I just have to just
Well,
ignore it.
like it takes a lot of deliberate effort to move somebody outside of somebody's like abusive frame like that. But anytime you push on it, it's just going to make her defensive, and she's going to want to retreat back into that frame like even more. Like I don't know if you had any challenging conversations with your father, but like those are all going to be seen as basically personal.
Yeah, no. When we were
It's not
talking,
like she's gonna-
when we were talking about like relationship stuff, I was having like a genuine conversation with them both. I was like, okay, so like we're doing a bit right now. We're kind of like romantic or whatever. But what is like the vibe? This is gonna sound so cringe. But it's like the camera goes off and we're both in the situation where we're both like kind of like in a romantic scenario. Like, are we actually romantic here, or are we just like doing? Am I supposed to like go leave and charge my battery? What the fuck should we continue what we're doing? What the fuck is going on here? And her dad was like trying to have this like I think I had that streamed when I talked to him. He gets like really fucking like. He's like, well, like, listen, you can take control of her, but like, you guys need to like really think hard about like if you guys do like each other. And it seemed a little bit normal, but like he kind of went on for it forever, and he started getting like really kind of like,
Defensive?
not defensive. He started getting really
Aggressive?
with her. He was kind of just like he started calling her like a bitch, and was saying like you need to go to bed like now, and a whole bunch of like shit to like get her like. He got weirdly sexual.
The scariest thing for him is going to be losing control of his victim, because so the scary thing so the only way this is all bullshit right now. So this is all like personal experience of mine. There might be different psychology studies, or maybe what I'm saying is not true. But in my personal opinion, when I see people in these situations, it seems like the only way they can get out of them is she essentially needs to be like brainwashed by somebody else. She needs to get into somebody else's brain control that allows that person to reset. And so the father probably knows this, because he'll feel it intuitively. You can feel when you're losing control of an abuse victim, and he'll try to push against that as hard as possible. So like her finding a decent guy that wants to be a boyfriend that starts to reorient her life and then kind of gives her that control back is, in my opinion, the only way realistically somebody will can break out, unless the dad just does something crazy, like tries to rape her violently or attack her. But the dad probably knows that, and he'll be like cool with you guys. This is my guess again. I don't know your guys' personal interactions, but my guess is like he's cool with you guys kind of like fucking around, or even like actually fucking. He probably wouldn't care that much. But the really scary thing he would feel, my guess is going to be, is you and her spending a lot of time together without him present. That would be like the really scary thing, because he might start to slowly lose control of her mind, and she would start to see it from her perspective, which is the worst thing in the world to have.
Yeah, there was a point in the stream where like we were like outside, and he was like, "You don't respond to my damn text," and it was literally like 30 minutes, or like less than 2 hours. He was like, "You don't respond to my 10 text, so I gotta get in the chat and get in there and like try to get in touch with you." I'm like, bro, it's been like sub 2 hours, and it's at like 7 p.m., dude. Like, I don't know why you're so
Also,
stressed.
Steven, I'm not sure if you're watching the stream. He clearly got really excited when you're talking about another person who would potentially be abusive coming in to do. Could you just clarify that you're not talking about Darius IRL when you're talking about another person coming in and doing this?
I mean, theoretically, it could be anybody. I don't think Darius is the one to do it, but hey, listen, we're gonna go for it.
Darius is the one to do it. Like, you don't think I have it in me?
I
actually don't think I have it in me. I'm gonna be for real.
Thank God.
I'm in for real. The idea, because what you would have to do it that way in that aspect is you'd have to be aggressive. Like, you'd have to be like I'd have to.
I feel like you've got like all your emotions that you're still kind of like working on, and you're talking about like the race is going to be like, that's a whole project.
Yeah,
that's a whole project. There's going to be a lot of fighting back and forth over who's right and who's wrong, because you would have to unravel a lot of grooming, essentially. Probably a lot of trauma too. Like, there's a lot going on there that you would have to fight against.
No, I don't.
I mean, this is my. I mean, you could do it. You knock yourself out. Go for it if you want.
No. I think that's a little bit too. I think it gets a little bit too much for me. I was just hoping that someone would see a difference. I was just hoping from that trip. That we would be able to do different content that wasn't related to this weird niche online internet stuff, and then she'd be like, "Oh, okay." If anything, like for her, because when I met her, I expected her kind of just to be like really edgy and like kind of like low key racist, but like when I gently talked to her, she's just like literally just she's just a normal fucking person that's just like unsure about herself.
Yeah, it's definitely like a performance that she does for her dad. Like, that's probably a really big deal for her. She wants to make sure that she's doing everything that he wants, that he likes. But it's got to be complicated because he's probably convinced her that it's what she wants. So she thinks she's doing what she wants, but at the end of the day, every single action she commits is going to be in service to improving his well-being, right? It's all for him.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree at all. When she talks about doing dude, seeing her do like this weird little like dance. I know she likes to sing. She does sing, and she does like a whole bunch of stuff. But seeing her doing like this like weird little dance for Ethan Ralph, and I'm like talking to her, and then she's like fighting with groypers, and she's like also but she wants to like join their community so bad, but she's fighting them. It's like, and then with like everybody else like trying to become friend, like even like becoming friends with me. That's probably like is the only way she's getting out of this political sphere. I mean, I'm still kind of in it low key, but like I'm like a different type of content. She doesn't want to be involved in this, but she also doesn't want to be involved with the like cozy TV people because she doesn't like group. I don't know what the fuck she actually wants. And when I talked to her for real, she talked about how she doesn't even really like. She's like a Christian, but she's like an anti-Christian or whatever the fuck that means. And I'm like, okay, I don't get what the fuck your vibe is. Like, you don't want to be part of this sphere. You're not making money off YouTube for what you're doing currently, and you're interacting in cozy TV spaces, and then when you're given opportunities to do other stuff, like you could go on Twitch right now and just literally do react streams and then probably do that for the rest of your life and make money. I don't know what the fuck your end game is, like at all. I don't know what I don't know what again, it's probably just what the father wants.
Again, the issue is she doesn't even exist as a person yet, right? She's literally just a shadow of her father that's being actively managed by her. The only way that she can figure out what she wants to do is she has to do some amount of self-discovery, but she probably doesn't even know how to exist separate his desires.
How does anyone
just
But how does she figure that? That's what I'm saying. How do I figure that? Like when I'm talking to, I had like a private convo with her brother. We went to go get coffee or whatever the next day, like day after everything happened, and like I'm even talking to him, and he's like, dude, I can't even get through to her. And I'm like, the only thing she cares about, the only space she's in right now is like streamer spaces. The only people she's interacting with are other streamers or other content creators trying to get like shit off of her or whatever, right? Like who is supposed to be the person that's supposed to help her get out of there, or she'll forever just be like some like she'll like at 20. I'm telling you right now, if she continues this for like 4 more years, she'll just hit a wall, and then it's gonna be like, not to be like super right, but like she's gonna hit like a fucking whatever. Like it's gonna be like it's gonna just be like her hoping that like things keep going, and then I guess she'll probably figure it out when she's like 24, 25. But like I don't know. It's I don't know what the end game is from anything. She wants the gunt. I don't think she wants the gunt at all. I think she's just like.
No, I agree with you, but again, the father's done like meticulous work here and making sure, because like all of the normal avenues of escape here are going to be through other people that you love and care about, that love and care about you, but she doesn't have any of that in her life. My guess is going to be she probably doesn't have a single real life friend that she talks to.
No, she doesn't.
Or if she does, they're just like from her Discord or whatever.
No, literally everybody, even their fucking neighbor was. Dude, when I went over there, I asked her, I was like, when's the last time you hung out with anybody? She's like, it's been like 3 years, and she's had an actual friend outside she's hung out with.
So and literally, the only person she can look towards for love, affirmation, for like external sources, the only person is her dad. So, like, she has no personality because she's a shadow of her father. Every single Maslow's hierarchy of needs that she needs in her life comes from her father. She has no friends. Her mother is an abuse victim of the father as well. It's very obvious in watching them. She's just stuck completely. Like the father is completely isolated from the world. So the only way to it's really to break anybody out.
Would you just I guess Relly's telling me this. You need to tell I'm telling you it's hard, but maybe if you said it like should I. You said maybe I could though. Maybe I could. Maybe it's a possibility. Should I just like get? So
you got too much shit on your plate, bro. You gotta let it go.
Should I just?
You got way too much shit on your plate.
Stop
You're not actually gonna date.
Because like here's the thing: if she knows ahead of, I'm telling you right now, if she messages me and she says like, hey, like this is the reason why we did it. I felt really uncomfortable why this happened. And she wanted to go forward. I'd probably be like, okay, cool. Just if it happens again, I'm probably gonna just tell you to fuck off. And that'd be probably the extent of it. But and like this whole thing on Friday or Saturday, if she ends up showing up on stream, I'm very unsure if I should just like entertain her, if I should just ignore her.
Here's okay. If I was gonna play Cut the Save Hope, okay, this is what I would do. Okay, ready? Number one, do you have any drugs?
I can obtain them.
Okay, well, psychedelics would be fun here. Okay.
She refuses, dude. I swear to God, if she took shrooms too.
Okay, no, that's fine. You don't need that. That's fine. Okay. This is what I would do if I was trying to completely mindfuck a girl into my side, and try to pull her away from somebody else. So offer to go on a day with her to hang out, and basically like You can drive, right? Can you drive?
Yeah, I could drive enough.
Yeah, rent a car and just like give her like a full day or two to basically dictate whatever she wants to do. Like pick her up, say like, hey, let's go get breakfast, and then whatever you want to do, we can do. Let her call the shots, let her decide where you want to go. As you're in the process of doing this, like ask her questions about like, why do you like doing this? Does this remind you of anything in your childhood? Like, why do you enjoy doing these things? What's up? How do you feel about this? Blah blah blah, and just like engage her in a lot of emotional or feelings oriented conversations throughout the day, while giving her a ton of autonomy to choose to do the things that she likes. Eventually, maybe like the lucky breakthrough moment, but you might not even see it happen here, would be her getting to do something that, while under her dad's control, she doesn't traditionally have access to. So, for instance, maybe her dad, for whatever reason, really doesn't like her watching movies. Maybe at some point she's comfortable enough to suggest, like, hey, I don't normally get to see movies in the theater. Do you want to go see this? Like something like that. Anything that would start to break her out of that by showing her that there are things in life that she can do if she wasn't under his control. It would show her that there is life outside of just what her dad. And then two, it would make her trust you because you're showing her those things, and she would start to see you as a different type of life/moral authority, and then trust you more when it comes to kind of like making decisions in her life. But like this is like a whole project to like get this type of relationship going, and it would have to be like one or two. These are like really emotionally intense days that you would have to have with this person. It can't be casual. Like you're gonna be engaging this person like really deep conversation the entire time and like following them like really close to everything, you know.
Yeah, no.
Stevie boy, have you done this before? It sounds a little bit precise. Precise. This advice.
Well, no, you can just see it in other people. When you're just casually dating, especially if you date a lot and you just talk to people, you can see people like unironically like break out of like certain shells and like I don't know. Like I hung out with this girl.
It's a
like
joke. Just
good joke, nigga. Like okay, joke. Oh, Steven, are you like are you manipulator?
Darius might be similar, actually. So, like, the way that the reason why I think girls like spend time with me a lot is because like you've heard of like archetype, like the power bottom, right? Like if I'm hanging out with a girl, I'll essentially let her call all the shots so she feels like she's in control, but I'm like there the entire time, like powering the activity, right? So if she's like, oh, I don't know if I want to do this or go to the beach, or whatever, I'm like, hey, let's go to the beach. I'll drive you there. I'll have a fun time. We'll chat about it. So like it feels like I'm kind of in control of everything and I'm like doing all the fun stuff with them. But at the end of the day, they're the ones that's deciding what we're going to do. It makes them feel safe. It makes them feel happy. They're choosing activities they like. Like it's just kind of like basic, like hanging out with a person and making them feel really, really, really good. Like if you give women, especially like good experiences like this, like they'll have a very, very favorable view of you. And what you're trying to do with Grace is kind of similar, except there's the added thing you're trying to break her away from somebody else.
Yeah.
Usually people are like people in life are by default very, very, very selfish, very, very, very self-centered. So if you can show somebody that like, hey, like this day is just you pick what you want to do and you do that. Like people very rarely have those experiences. Usually somebody wants to get you, they want to fuck you, they want to take you to places that they want to go, they want to do what they want to do and bring you along for the ride. If you can go along with the ride with them making the shots, them calling the shots, that's a super fun experience for a lot of people.
Yeah, no, same thing with Hannah. When I went to I'll be fair with you, I don't care for fuck all art museums or any of that shit. When I went with Hannah, we went to the art museum. That's when like she told me she loved me and everything. Was because we went there and I made it fucking fun for her. I was like, okay, I'll go with you. And then I was like, okay, we're just gonna make jokes the whole time. I'm fucking retarded. So I was like, oh, what is this, like Bach or whatever? It's music. It's not.
In my limited experience, very limited experience, especially between the both of you, this isn't really the case.
What do you mean?
I've never had a woman suggest something to do on her own.
No woman has ever told you like, hey, I like to watch a movie.
They've never made a decisive decision.
What about a movie? How about a movie?
Oh yeah, no. Like if
if
I ask them if they want to watch like a specific movie, well, even still, no. Actually, I think that's only happened once. No, twice. It was two different.
Let's not even go to the movie. Let's say a movie, and then you know they like love movies, and you're like, okay, you look up love movies in the area. You're still accompanying them to what they want to do.
No. What I'm stating is that like they never pick themselves something to do. They always expect me to.
But do you get what I'm saying by like a genre? Like I say, when
no.
I think
when they pick, I think.
But like no, if a girl said no, because here's the thing, because I think you're being autistic. But if it's okay that she's like walking, right, and you say, okay, like oh, we'll go to X park. That's still like they're picking the thing to do. You're just finding the area.
No. I'm talking about asking.
There is like an archetype of a girl that is just kind of like wants to hang out with you but doesn't have any ideas on what to do. I think that's a little bit different than what we're talking about with Grace, but no, what Ahrelevant is saying is 100% true. There's a lot of girls that I'll talk to. I was like, what do you want to do? And I'm like, I don't know, we can like eat and hang out. I'm like, oh, okay. You know, just depends.
I don't know. When a girls tell me they want to eat and hang out, then I assume that's like part of them telling what they want to do, and I'm like, okay, I'll get some food and I'll go.
Well, yeah, no, and then what type of food though?
I guess.
Then you ask them, and then there's no answer.
Yeah, I guess. But if someone says no answer, that's usually because they're okay with anything. They just want to eat.
Sometimes, but then sometimes it's like a whole.
I've never had it be like a whole thing.
Really?
I've never like when someone says they just want to eat and hang out. I'll be like, yeah, but I'm like, sure, you don't want to go on a walk, and we can go on a walk and eat this. I'll suggest other thing, I guess. But I guess
I'll just be like pizza, and they'll be like, no.
No,
or
no.
whatever. But like, I don't think it's
I mean,
I don't think it's super
somebody doesn't have
common
like
in
an
talk.
option there. If somebody doesn't give you like a thing to do, like just find ways to create special and unique moments for them that are focused on them. Like there are, think of like whatever, like think of the gayest shit you can think of, and she'll probably love it. So for instance, if you're like suggesting go out to eat and she doesn't have like any ideas, like you could literally go to fucking Walmart, buy like 2 pizza Lunchables, bag of cookies, and like a blanket, and go have a picnic somewhere. And it would probably be like one of the most fun things she's done. Like,
Yeah.
like,
I've actually
Yeah.
suggested that exact thing, and they called me a fucking bitch for it.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I literally suggested that we go.
Girl, stay away from people like that. That's what she just wants to go drop $200 on a steakhouse. Fuck her.
Dude, no one like who says that?
There was a specifically a woman who I had talked to, and I won't disclose who she is that way but I was literally like, okay, we don't have anything to do. Let's just go to a fucking store, grab some fucking shit. It's a nice night. Let's just hang out. Let's
Okay,
just
well,
do
that's
like a picnic.
okay. Well, never mind. Actually, that sounds.
And
fine.
then they were like, no, like
I say,
that's
I
bitch made.
because I do
think
that.
they said bitch made.
I do that, but I try to make it a little interesting. So when I tell people like, okay, let's go out and grab food at a grocery store, I'll tell them you grab my meal and I'll grab their meal, and then we'll do like a surprise thing. Or whatever.
Yeah,
So that way, it's like
that sounds
different.
better.
Yeah.
Like I think a big problem is when I suggest things like this, I can't make it like cute or sexy. Is the problem? Is I have like no ways with.
I can't say about like watching the interaction, but there's a huge difference between like I don't know what to eat, and then like we could like buy shit at Walmart and have a picnic. Like that's like okay versus like we should go to Walmart, get a blanket, we could buy food, we could find like a cute place to the grass, we could just like sit down, have a picnic, and chat. I think that'd be right. If you show some like enthusiasm or like you're bought into the concept, that sounds like a really cool experience. It's not about the eating, right? It's about hanging out with somebody that's excited to do something kind of like weird you haven't done before. But if you're just like, I don't know, you want a picnic? Like they're gonna be like, no. Sounds like I don't know how you communicate it, but that would just be like my guess.
No, I definitely have problems selling, like pitching ideas.
I think
that's objectively true.
Yeah, usually whenever I'm gonna go ahead and do something, I'll like say like, oh wait, I have this great idea, and I pretend like I just came up with the idea. So it's kind of a little manipulative, but it is what it is. Okay, so are you gonna talk to the brother at all? Because the brother said he'd be willing to talk to you. Or do you
It sounds really mean, but like I'm kind of over most of it. I feel like I understood the dynamic really well.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's gonna say anything that'll shock me. So I don't know like what the point of talking to the brother.
Yeah, I saw so afterwards I saw a thread that pretty much kind of reiterated exactly what the brother said. So, he said one of the reasons why he didn't even really want to do a stream with like you or anybody else is because he feel like he'd just be reiterating everything. Which I guess for me it was like the first time I heard it, so I was like, oh shit, okay, and like I didn't really know anything, so and we just like talked, we just like shot when we hung out after like he kind of reiterated everything to me the first time. We just kind of shot the shit about like shrooms and shit, so it wasn't even really like anything related to the family anymore. He's kind of like over it as well. He's kind of like doing his own thing, so it's just mostly
that's frustrating, but like that's why it's really hard for people to have empathy sometimes. But you'll see families where like their oldest child is like kicked out of the house and they're like homeless, and people look at the family like, how could you ever do this to your son or your daughter? Like, how could you ever do that? And sometimes some families just get pushed to the limit. It's like, listen, we've tried everything else. Like now it's tough love. Like there's no other path through it. And then you kind of just get tired of it. You're like, this it's sad. It sucks. Like no parent wants to throw their kid out. But sometimes like that's the level that you get to, and that's all that's left. And I feel like for Grace and her dad, like, yeah, again, they're both adults, so they can fuck each other. They can do weird abusive things to each other, but it's not like illegal, so there's not much you do to help them out of their behavior, you know?
Yeah, that's exactly what he was saying. It was like it's illegal, but like I don't know what the fuck to do. It's like it's Rhode Island, like incest is legal, so and she was 16, so it's like what the fuck is he supposed to do about it besides just like tell his family members? But then like I don't know if you watched that stream, but like did you see like the other like the younger siblings like hardcore like harping on the mom? And like I remember I saw that Grace posted like a picture of like Courtney with like a Jew nose and like a weird like she looked like one of those like I don't know, do you ever read that book in like grade school where it's like a bunch of like cafeteria monsters and it's a regular kid? You know what I'm talking about?
Nope.
It's like okay, whatever. Anyway,
I didn't see the stream either, but
okay.
Yeah, I mean like for the entire dynamic to work, the mother always has to be the main bad guy. She's always the one who destroyed the family. She's always the most abusive one. She's always the reason the restaurant failed. Like that narrative is really important because that's what allows the father to have an unnatural control over everybody. And it's what allows Grace to replace the mother in the family dynamic. Because I'm assuming Grace probably does everything that the mother's supposed to. She probably picks the kids up from school. She probably tries to get them food. She probably helps them with their schoolwork if they need to. and all of that, yeah, is part of the dad's like control over the family, you know.
Yeah, no. She does exactly that. The streams I looked at everything afterwards, which is fucking retarded of me. But like the streams I saw of her are usually her crying because she feels like she has to take the mom role now. But like, I mean, like she's kind of putting that on herself. She kind of could just like it seems like the mom has the kids, the mom has.
Well, she's not putting it on herself. That's what
Well,
her
it's
dad
like her
is
dad is
like projecting on her.
Yeah, yeah,
Unfortunately,
yeah,
she is putting it on herself now, but it's because of the dad's forced it on her so hard.
yeah,
Right?
yeah.
But remember, if she feels bad when she's crying, the thing that sucks because you're dealing with a grooming victim is when she's crying and she's having those bad feelings, part of the frustration is she feels like it's her fault. She feels like she's not doing enough and she feels like she shouldn't feel that way. Her negative feelings, because it's a groom situation, she's never going to feel those negative feelings towards the father ever. It's impossible.
Man, what even? Okay, I put it on myself.
This is why, like, when you talk about people that are like potential abuse victims, this is why the most important thing is always don't let them get isolated. Because once you've isolated somebody, it's like it's game over. Because you're now they're your sole source of validation. You can basically do whatever the fuck you want to them. You can hit them, they'll think it's your fault. You can rape them, they'll think they owe you sex. You can talk shit about them, they'll think they're not good enough. Like you're simultaneously when you got it's kind of like abusing a dog, right? Like you can abuse a dog and they'll still come to you for food at the end of the day, but it just like fucks their mind up for everything else. They can't see any other thing besides their abuser and what their abuser wants. So
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it was pretty. I didn't really when I first came over there. Like, what's his name? Ben was like. He was just chatting me up like super hardcore, trying to like go ahead and hang out with me, do everything there. But then it was just like it was so draining, like watching her like sit there and endure this guy. This guy was talking for like 3 to 4 hours. Why are you laughing when I said endure? Okay, he was like sitting there talking for like 30-40 minutes about absolutely fucking nothing, and like she's just like sitting there like putting on a face, and I'm just like, dude, like you know, I was like, I talked back to him like during it. I was like, listen, let's just put a pin on this, and he was like, oh, so you're just telling me to shut the fuck up? And she was like, I was like, oh, dude, like you don't even like you just let him sit here and ramble, and you just listen to it majority of the time, dude. I would tell this guy to shut up if I wasn't like a guest in his house like a while ago. Because this is like, dude, he's talking about absolutely. He's like literally just like schizo. Is he? Well, I guess like you know the Ethan Ralph people are like. It's like literally just like the ramblings of just like conspiracy theory autism. I was just like, I don't know why.
but I mean, like, look at he's like the god of his own world, right? He's got everything he could ever want. Somehow, I don't know what their backstory is, but somehow they've got some level of financial security. He's got his perfect little abuse victims. They have no external pressure to push them away or contradict anything that he says. Like he's literally created a world where he is God and nobody's there to oppose him. And he's got a hot fucking 20-year-old daughter for him to fuck and play house with. So like, yeah, he's set.
Yeah, that's why I'm gonna kill God. Ain't that right, Riley? Get this shit.
No way.
I'm gonna kill God.
I don't think you got enough time. I don't think you got enough energy to make this work.
I can dedicate my life to this.
No, you can't.
People.
Let's imagine that you're friends with her because
I
know that you said there was a lot trying to be her friend and shit like that. Like you become friends with her, you're dealing with her a lot. Like what?
Here's a unique position I'm in. I'm a streamer where people want to see that. And here's the thing: if people didn't,
so you're gonna milk her for content.
It'd be. I mean, low key. I guess that's what it is.
Don't fucking encourage this behavior.
I mean, it's kind of what it is. I'm a streamer where people want to see that, so it's kind of like unless people start getting tired of me and they're like, okay, dude. Like if I start having breakdowns, like I kind of did that night. To be fair, her mom got me drunk. Not fair.
You always get drunk.
No.
Yes.
But second off, if people start getting tired of me and they're like, okay, dude, listen, like this is kind of annoying. Like this person needs to just be let go, or if she gets to the point where it's like, it's the thing is like, I guess it's like relatively content, but it's also like, dude, she lives off these bits or whatever, right? So if we're streaming and we're doing all this stuff and it's like she feels like it's getting her popularity, she'll keep doing it. And if it's things that are actively like doing better for her, she'll keep doing it. Like if like so it's like if I like it seems like it'd be like a win-win. If anything, if it kept on going and it was moving towards a healthy direction, the only way it wouldn't be a win.
Well, as long as you're not breaking away from her father, because if you're breaking away from her father's going to try to intervene, and she's going to side with her father every time.
Which is what exactly I think happened with the Josh thing, with John, where when John was on the stream, because I talked to her, I was like, listen, John's going to talk on here, and we're going to go back home and talk to we're gonna talk to Ben about everything, and then we'll just go do it back and forth. Like the viewers are gonna get up and everything like that, and then you guys can defend your side, and it's like a whole thing. Like I'm gonna talk to John about it, and it'll be good. Like don't fucking like flip out. But then I'm assuming she started looking at her phone a bunch, and I'm assuming fucking Ben started spam messaging her like, okay, this guy's fucking whatever, because he was like flipping the fuck out of my chat. So I'm assuming what ended up happening was he saw that and got pretty either upset because his son was like saying vile shit about him, or he was like, oh, this guy's just trying to like go against me, and then he got her to leave. So I don't know if like I'm like if that happens, that's probably like I don't know if
that's gonna happen a lot. Like they're gonna do that bedwetting whatever fucking shit where they're planting all that CSI crime whatever shit. That's gonna happen a couple times, like several, during this whole arc. You're gonna deal with all of that while you're trying to riz women on Tinder. No shot. No chance. They're gonna pull up your fucking name and they're gonna see like piss stains or whatever shit more than usual. That's not gonna happen.
I don't think anyone's gonna look at my name and see that ever.
Bro, like
the Fleshlight
what I'm
Club
saying,
has so
what
many
I'm
views.
saying is, if any woman like comes on this fucking stream or whatever, they're gonna get harassed to fuck because Ben and his goons and groypers and shit are probably gonna make it their goddamn life's mission. Like you want to deal with all of that. Just because you want to save grace?
That's probably the only thing that was actually pretty bad. I was like, dude, the actual like, if I do interact with her more and I interact with Ben as well, I'm unironic. Like, I'm a lolcow, but I'm a lolcow to like one specific community right now. If I'm fucking with her and Ben, they're like a lolcow in general. So like, I'm gonna become like a lolcow to like groypers and people that actually try to like fuck up people's lives. Yeah, whereas the people in TGG, besides Girdle, has not tried to fuck with my life. They just laugh at my dumb antics. So.
I think they're laughing right now.
No one's laughing.
I think they might be laughing.
No one's laughing at me.
I think there's a couple good ones.
Nobody's laughing. Do you know anything about Too Mad, Steven?
I don't know. He messaged me a few days ago and he's like, can we team on stream? And I'm like, yeah, we can set up a talk. He's like, do you have a plan? And I'm like, I'm going to chat with you. I'm going to fucking help you set me up. And then he hasn't messaged me back, so I have no fucking idea what's going on with him. He might actually be like a little bit fucking crazy, it's hard to say.
Yeah, me and Riley were planning to just meet up with him and just like do like a thing where we just hang out and talk about whatever's been going on lately. I haven't looked into it at all. But apparently, Riley's saying some crazy shit's happening. Or like, what's up with Too Bad?
I am not to my knowledge like crazy things are. Well, it seems like there might be some serious shit going on. I don't know for sure. There's crazy things happening.
I didn't see anything. I skimmed very quickly. Everything I did for itself. I didn't see anything that was like, wow, this is like hardcore like rape or some crazy shit like that. It just looked like he was like very kind of like controlling / emotionally abusive, and now he's like trying to escape that, I guess. But that's what it looked like to me. But I could be wrong. It's just very brief is what I see. But he does seem like pretty fucking unhinged.
Yeah,
actually
the biggest problem that I see is that like on Twitter and shit like that, he's like not letting it go. Like he's like making it worse for himself.
I mean, he doesn't make videos.
Well, you say that he's making it worse for himself, but aren't the other people also like still posting publicly about him?
Yeah, people are still publicly posting stuff about him, but he's definitely like engaging with all of it, which I think is generally speaking not a good thing to do. Like if people are posting about you and you want to like move on, generally speaking, you shouldn't be like tweeting at every single person who tweets at you, and like.
Well, are there people that are like personally cutting ties with him over this? Because if so, that might be why he feels compelled to say something.
I don't know.
Like if there are people that are like, I'm not doing content with you anymore, people that are attacking him.
Oh yeah, there are some people who are doing that for sure.
Fair. Okay, then that could be the reason. Or he could just, he's never been through drama like this before and he doesn't really know how to respond.
I don't think he's
just
ever
like,
been through drama like this before.
Yeah. So, I think my further actions are. No, don't look at that. Don't look at that.
It's funny how you tried to exit. Can I tell Stream what just happened?
Go ahead.
I can.
Yeah.
And this sly motherfucker, he pulls up Discord. Grace Thorpe at the top of the direct messages just quickly exits out of it, so I couldn't see it. Okay, like I wasn't gonna notice anything. Why would you try that?
Because
Why would you try that?
I need to assess my situation. I need to really...
just let it hang. It's way weirder when you exit out of it. Just let it hang.
Wait, hold on. What was the message? I'm so curious now. Now you gotta tell us.
Yeah.
It was just yo. Because I was like, okay, we should probably have a.
Can I take a beat?
It was just yo. It was just the word yo. I don't want you to look at through. It's nothing even bad.
All right,
it's nothing even bad.
Look there?
Oh my god.
Yeah,
so
then let him see it. It's not a bad.
Okay, I'm only letting you see the last message. It literally says yo.
Wait, what about the? Wait, you did that?
Well, yes, I said yo. Yes, I know I did. I said.
Wait, why did it show up as her? Like right there.
Because I just opened the DMs and I sent I just sent a message.
Wait, it doesn't do that.
It does that for people.
Wait,
when
I
you send
thought
a
it had
message.
the symbol for that. Why are you messaging her?
Because I'm gonna probably fucking have a last conversation with her, and then
Oh
after
my
that,
God.
what, dude? I'm not just gonna
There
drop.
is
Last
no way,
conversation.
bro.
Oh.
No, I'm not-
There
Guys,
is
No, I'm just gonna be like, hey,
Oh my
what is
God.
XYZVB, and then NLOP, and then
Dude, homie couldn't even wait till he was off the live, dude. That's crazy.
well, now because now I need to assess my situation, and then if she
Also,
goes
why wouldn't you let me see the other stuff?
because
I
it's
thought we were homies.
because I sent a message when I was leaving that was like kind of soy, and I want you to see it. No, fuck you.
Oh,
Get me in there,
no.
bro. Get me in there, bro.
Wait, what are you knowing? It wasn't like anything.
What? Oh, I know the messages.
Well, you know the message I sent?
Yeah, of course.
Wait, what do you mean you know the message I sent? Like
Let me
you
see.
could read me, or like she sent it to
Like
you?
I can see into the fucking ether, and I can see the fucking messages.
Yeah, no, it's just like
Can I see it?
Wait. Can you bring it up, and then let me try to guess? Okay, relevant time.
Yeah, I won't
Okay?
leak it. I promise.
okay.
I
I'm
won't
looking.
leak
I'm looking
it.
at
You
the
know
message.
I
I'm
won't
looking at the
leak
message
shit.
right now. Okay. Here, you go ahead and read this. Just don't scroll down.
Okay.
Just look at that message. That's the message. That's the message. Just
And
look.
then what? If
Okay.
he guesses it, then I'm allowed to say whether or not
Yeah.
it's true.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, just say how close I am. Yeah. Okay. Let me know when you've read the message.
What are you looking at me like that for? You're so weird. Why are you looking at me?
Oh shit! I fucked up.
Oh, bro, what? Oh, did I close our DMs? Or did you block me?
No, I think it just fucked.
Okay, just close DMs. Oh, you already days.
Okay, go ahead and guess.
Okay. So something about like, hey Grace, this past trip was like really fucked up. I don't like that you guys like lied about this other thing. I'm not entirely sure why you're doing it. Hopefully when we hang out in LA, I think we can have a more fun time. I don't think your living arrangement is healthy. Maybe we can talk more about it in the future. Blah blah blah. Something like this. I'll scale from like 1 to 10, with 10 being exact and 0 being completely off. How close am I?
Probably like a 6.5 or a 7.
Okay.
Is it
Close enough.
is that grounds for reading it?
Huh?
Is that grounds for reading it?
I mean, it's up to you. I always take a hard stance to not read DMs.
Oh, okay.
Personally, that's me personally.
Okay, I'm gonna say that's a big no. Yeah, no, it's relatively long.
Remember that anything you DM her, she's 100% shared with her partner.
That's
Oh, yeah.
that's
That's
the
a
problem.
guarantee.
That's the problem.
That's a
That's my thought. Because I'm like, dude, because when we talked about this, we talked about this one thing. Because the first conversation we had about because after there was a streamer we had she's like laughing hysterically and she's like reading chat, and it was pretty sweet, and it was like a moment or whatever we were having together, and then the stream dies, and then we're just hanging out there. We're like kind of in this like kind of quasi like romantic kind of like just friends chilling out in the back porch side of thing, and I'm like we're both just like chilling, laughing with each other about stuff, and I'm like, okay, should I just get back and like charge my battery and go back live, or like what do you want me to do? And that's when I had the conversation with her. I was like, okay, like here's the thing, like are we like trying to like it sounds so fucking cringe every time it comes out of my
I've
mouth.
actually reassessed it. I think it's an 8. 8 out of 10.
You think
I've
it's-
I think it was an 8. I think that was an 8. I've reassessed it.
You think what? Why? You think what?
No, I think it's very close.
You think it's very close?
Yeah. No, I'm not saying you don't have to read it. I'm sorry. I was just reassessing it and like really thinking about it, especially at the back end there.
Okay, I don't know.
Wait, hold up. Let me read that back end again. Go ahead. Keep
Here's a
talking,
really
keep
texting
talking.
pin. You can read it again if you want.
Wait. Was there a part? Hold on. Let me add a part. Tell me the most for a little bit. Is there something in there about how like I think you're a really smart, funny, cool person. I think you could be like way cooler if your dad wasn't so weird or whatever. Does that bump it at all, or not? Nothing in there about that?
Well, there's a separate message that's like that, but I don't think that's in there. I think that
Oh.
I think that in the message I do compliment her actual personhood, and then I tell her that no matter, even if she feels like, because I was talking to John a lot, and John said like, dude, she has to just feel so much shame for what she's done, and like it causes her
Yeah,
to
of course.
like mask everything into like this weird bit, And I just was like, in the message, I do say like something along the lines after thinking about that. I'm like, okay, well, I don't think of you as like your bad actions. I think of you as like the moments that we had that were very nice, and I don't think of you as like if you feel bad about this,
Jesus.
I don't view you as like this person. I view you as the person that I met at this point, or the person that was doing this or whatever. And like I don't think of you as just some like like evil person. Just so you know, because I know that a lot of people, and with probably good reason, don't interact with her after they find out about her. Because she told me about like, how like all her friends like fucked off after they found out about their family situation, and even like her neighbor. Like literally, they move in like a week ago, and they make her neighbor so uncomfortable because she's a black neighbor. Just so we're clear, she brings her neighbor on stream, and everyone's saying racist shit and talking about how her black baby's like weird, and then she's like, "Why are you guys mentioning that?" And she doesn't want to be associated with them anymore. And I'm like, okay, well, everyone obviously doesn't fuck with you after they experience a bad issue. I'm like, just so you know, I'm not like, not like I'm just like a savior or whatever, but like you guys kind of fucked me over pretty hard, and I think
Wait a second. Hold on. I didn't even consider this. Is the dad going with her to LA?
So no, from what I hear, he said
Okay.
he physically can't because of legal issues.
Wait,
Restraining
what?
order? No, not restraining order.
No,
Does he have like an open case against her or something that keeps him from leaving the state?
not from what I know specifically. I know there is a restraining order right now though, but I'm not sure of it. But from what I'm looking at when I am talking to his mom and her mom and everyone else, he like cannot go. But I also don't know how she can go because she doesn't have an ID.
How is she getting on a
She doesn't have
plane?
an ID or driver's license.
How is she getting on a plane?
That's what I don't understand. That's why
You can get on a plane
that's
without an ID or a driver's license. I've done it before.
she would need a birth certificate.
I could be wrong, but I'm almost positive that FAA regulations now, you need a real ID. Don't they have that in airports?
I don't. So I got on an airplane 5 months ago without one, and all I needed was like several pieces of mail, and like
No
just
shot.
yeah,
Really?
yeah, it was crazy. They told me all I needed was a couple bits of mail. I took like 30 things of mail and like various like health insurance stuff. I took like 30 different pieces of identifying information, and they just looked at 2 of them and they're like, "Just go through, bro." I was just like, "Oh, okay, all right. You're gonna have me take off my shoes, but I show you 2 pieces of paper with my name on it, and we're straight." That's crazy.
I don't even know if I believe you. Don't you need a photographic ID? What is the guy, when you hand the people your tickets and your ID, what is he looking at to make sure that you're not just a random dude that grabbed 2 pieces of mail and went to the airport?
I do not know. I wish I had it recorded, but that's the God's honest. It was a piece of mail with that was a health insurance thing for my insurance, and it was, I think, literally just like a FedEx shipping thing that I got earlier that day because I was shipping my setup because it was when I was moving. And it was so it was 3 months ago.
I don't understand because I could theoretically just send a friend through TSA now, and we could just lie.
Yeah, and you don't even have to have. That's what happened. I had nothing. Wait. I think. Yeah, no, I don't think I had my I don't think I even had my my old college ID. I don't even think I had that.
Weird.
That was weird.
Okay, so I guess
What are you guys doing in LA? You're gonna be there for a whole week?
well, I'm gonna figure that out. I only plan to go there for the anime expo thing. I was just gonna hopefully show hot girls in anime outfits, and then just kind of have that be my content for the day. But I don't know.
Are you going with a cosplay? Are you
So
cosplaying?
if you want to know what might happen, which might be weird, so Dick Masterson is apparently getting Grace on a thing, and he wants me to kind of show up as well. So I might be doing that on Sunday,
Do get on a what thing?
like this podcast show thing in LA. I don't know.
IRL podcast?
Yeah,
And he wants you there
if,
in person?
If Grace shows up, yeah. Which we still don't know if she's gonna show up or not. It's just like it could happen or couldn't happen. I fucking don't know.
Mm.
But if she fully shows up, then that would be because he's apparently covering that recent Ethan Ralph stuff where I peed the bed. Wait, were you supposed to leak that? It's on Twitter. He literally added her and said, "Do you want to come to my show?" On what's it called? And then
It doesn't really matter. I think everybody knows when they tell you things it'll leak.
Oh, well.
Well, usually people don't want to like tell you like don't like this is private.
Yeah. So that was like whatever. So I might be doing that, but beyond that, there's nothing else unless you can contact whatever or something. Really, if you want to go through all that, but beyond that, nothing else. We're just gonna go there and hang out for a little bit and then go back home. What are you doing? You're like free. Like you have nobody at your house, right? For like multiple days. Are you gonna be inviting some ladies over? New far.
Maybe I don't know if they would even. Probably will just be me on stream.
Erm.
Yeah. Fuck my life would be, but no, I guess.
I guess we'll see.
Wait, are you? Where are you? You're not at home? Are you, Destiny?
No, I'm cleaning my apartment. Okay, so you know.
Just in case. Erm.
Oh, okay. I thought he was in California.
You thought he was in California?
Yeah.
No, he's in Miami, bro. Well, he was in California.
When did he come?
He was in California when he ditched us.
Well, when did he come back?
Can we retry this month, Steven?
This month? We're gonna go back to Florida?
Why not?
Oh my god, nigga.
People will pay for it.
Oh my god, people pay for it.
Going up to Virginia at the in a week to do Tim Pool's show, and then I will and then I'll be here for the rest of the month. I don't think I have any other plans to travel.
Okay. Are you getting rid of what someone told me? Like I've been so busy with this Grace stuff, so I fucking haven't figured it out. What's happening in the DGG chat?
Oh yeah, that was
just while I'm streaming, there's not going to be a DGG chat on screen, and there's not going to be an embed in my stream, basically.
Okay.
That's crazy though, right?
What?
That there isn't going to be. So
I mean, it sucks a little bit, but like the amount of money that they're offering is like so ridiculous. So like, there's two paths forward that I can see. Either one, Kick dies in 6 months or a year, in which case, why would I not take a massive payday? Or two, Kick is like really successful, in which case, how awesome would it be to be like on the ground floor of like a new streaming platform? Like that would be fucking sick. So I mean, like either way, I figure it's a win-win. So the goal though is going to be that like what I want to try to do now over the next couple of weeks, I have to like plan out like the whole business structure, like my place. I need to get my my communities like working together more to do stuff. Like I've got like Discord Jennies that have come to me and they said like, hey, we want to run community events, and I've kind of like ignored it. I've got like my subreddit that I don't do much with, even though it's like so insanely active. I need to find a way to tie these in fun ways. So that's kind of what I'll be exploring with. Yeah.
When you have them interacting in ways, do you mean like having like like game tournaments, or do you mean like having like people?
Anything. Just I need to get it. I need to like roll it down the hill and get it like self-sustaining. So maybe it looks like I hire like 3 or 4 like community organizers. I pay them like $500 each a month, and they all have like the jobs of like, we're gonna run the Discord, we're gonna have community events. You know, we're gonna make you do an AMA every 2 months. You know, your subscribers get an answer. You know, we're gonna host community tournaments, whatever they want to do, like stuff like that. Like as long as I can get the ball rolling, like the people are there, and it seems like there are people in moderator positions that have a desire to do stuff. But yeah, I just need to like
Gotcha. So because you're gonna be losing DGG, you'll have to make sure all the.
Well, I'm not losing it. I don't want the activity to die a lot. Like,
yeah.
To be honest, I think that after a year, I think that the worst case scenario is that like maybe I lose like 30% of the active chatters there, which sucks. But like, I don't think it's ever gonna die because there's other streams that people embed, because a lot of people chat they're offline, like between streams, they're offline between streams. So I think there's always going to be a healthy amount of activity that way. But like the idea of it getting smaller rather than growing is also kind of sad. So yeah, finding ways to integrate it into like Discord and the subreddits and getting it like more active that way, I think would be really, really good. And then if my contract expires with Kick at the end of the year and they don't renew with me, then I've got like DGG that I've built up to be even better independent of stream, and then I bring it back on stream, and then it's like even better, you know? So that would be like the ideal. That's like the ideal.
What about like future investment in DGG? Because that's the first thing that I can think of that would be kind of worrying, is that your site might not get as much investment as it would have in prior years because it's not as the turnover.
I mean, it should be getting. I'm pretty sure there's been a lot of work like cleaning up the code base. Like in terms of like getting it cleaned up and like paying for maintenance and work on the site. I feel like I've spent, I want to say around like $50,000 over like the past like 6 to 12 months in terms of like getting a whole bunch of stuff on the back end cleaned up, modernizing the code base, and like getting rid of like apparently there's like a lot of tech debt accumulated or I'm just getting scammed. But no, like, I mean, I'll still make investments in my site. It's important. The whole front page still needs a fucking redesign. I don't know what I want to do with it, but there has to be a funnel to other things because I don't know if does anybody actually use destiny.gg, like the front page? I don't think anybody does it, you know?
No, I'm gonna say yeah, no, nobody does. I've never once gone in. Well, I mean, like I've clicked on like the buy more stuff accidentally, but that's about it. No, usually big screen is where everything's at. Is offline movie chat gonna be allowed then the whole time?
Maybe there's always a difficult balance between like community chats, or there's a difficult balance to strike between like movie and other streamer chats versus offline chat. And this has been a big fight over the past years that we've gone back and forth on. A lot of like new frogs won't know this, but like there's something like very cool and unique being able to hop into a chat with recognizable figures and like have conversations with them or to see like ongoing conversations. That's like a really cool, fun, unique thing that is hard to find in like a kind of small area, right? Like it's not Discord where it's so fucking huge. You got these weird randos coming in, but it's not like a small group chat with like 8 people. So DGG is unique in that sense. However, once you start bringing in like movie chats and streams and shit, you basically like destroy any kind of like actual offline chat, and then those types of people are discouraged. So still not sure how I'll balance that out. Um, right now, the next project I asked Cake and Jader to direct their attention to was trying to get up. Yeah, I think it'd be cool to set up like a wiki on my website that people could contribute to, just to like archive shit because people type so much stuff on the subreddit that gets lost forever, and it'd be an easy way to organize stuff. But I feel like after that, something I've always wanted is like 2 chats. Like you know how you can click a button and there's like DM windows that open up in tabs. It would be so cool. I feel like it'd be cool on my website if there were just like 2 chats, one that you could tab between, and the second one is for embeds and movies and stuff like that. And then you've got a primary chat where people just like offline chatting. Like that's something that I've always wanted. I just haven't had it. You know?
Yeah, I thought like Shrims has something similar. It can switch between your chat and then the Shrims chat, but it'd be like instead just movie chat and then regular chat or whatever.
Yeah, like the way that like if you open like a DM, you can like click between like a DM and like the main chat. Like having that like 2 chats would be so nice. But I think there's a lot of like back end work that goes into making that makes that a lot more challenging than it would appear.
Yeah, because I remember you said this like 3 years ago, and you've been talking about it ever since. So it must be pretty difficult because that's something you've asked for a while. What?
Also, what has there been any progress or any news in regards to the? It was like the essentially like a DGG that you could do for independent other
DGG
content.
The box?
Yeah, like the one that people could buy and have.
Yeah, so this is something I realized with projects like this for a long time is this is just my limited experience. I could be wrong, but I think it's probably really, really, really important for projects like that to have like appointed creative directors or some sort of director that's like pushing things along. Like I think that at least just based on a little bit that I've seen, that I think Jader, Cake, or I guess under Cake's directions, going to Cake progress directly, it seems like they've cleaned up like a whole bunch of stuff on the website, or at the very least, I see a lot of pushes and everything go out to the repo, and it seems like they're able to make updates a little bit easier now. Like that's all cool. But in terms of like actively pushing hard or driving another platform, I haven't been doing that very much. Cake and Jader don't have like much like motivation to. They've got their own jobs and their real life stuff. So that project is just kind of like sitting there. It might be something to push, but I had a long call actually with I'll say with a random guy, I think a few months ago about like investing a ton of like time and energy into a project like that. And he basically, his whole spiel was that like, it was the dumbest idea in the world because what I'm setting myself up for is to do software as a service where my entire life or the entire life of that company is going to revolve around managing horrible fucking clients. And it's not going to be a fun project. It's not going to be like a cool tech idea. It's just going to be like managing people that are going to be making fucking retarded quests month after month after month. And it's going to be the most miserable thing in the world. Talked to him a bit about that. Thought about that a little bit. And then I personally don't have a lot of time to dump into it. I feel like I don't know how many people now with how many platforms exist in Discord and everything with like sometimes so I don't know. It's just kind of I think like right now what I'm most focused on, like the thing that's most important is just making sure that my site works. Like I'm really happy with like Cake and Jader do amazing work. I'm happy with the people that I have there. Just continuing to make updates and everything to my site is like the most important thing for me right now. I'm more concerned with that than like any other side project with it. Yeah.
Yeah, I've noticed that like the like an OnlyFans girl, like or Amaranth, I guess they have like these websites that like you just go on and it's just like things you can click and it's very easy if you want to find out stuff about them. Your website on the front page is not. I mean, I guess you can like click on the top where you can go to like I can't even actually I'm on it right now. I don't know where the blog is.
Yeah, no, it's really, really, really bad. Like, Cake knows it, I know it. Like, it's just a matter of, like, I don't know what the fuck. I'm having a guy in the background, somebody that I hired, I think a month or two ago, is working on a whole rebrand for me, like rebranding my brand entirely. And I think part of that guy, what he does is like things related to like sales funnels and trying to figure out like what is the important information that should be on this front page. So I think he's like a couple months into that. I should start getting mock-ups soon. But once I like launch like a big rebrand, I'll have like a big folder with like all my new stuff. And then I'll start to like distribute this to my platforms, and then we'll figure out like what's like the important stuff that needs to go on this front page. But yeah, that'll come with the logo redesign and everything and the rebrand.
You said the logo redesign?
Yeah, it's a total rebrand. Yeah.
He's probably that's why he gets like a whole year to do that, and then when he comes back, when it's after a year, he can push it over.
Logo rebrand, huh?
That's pretty base. It's like pretty much just website downtime while he's still making money. So and then he's gonna make more money after.
Wait, have you been? Is it clear? Or is it public how much your contract is for with Kick?
Not yet. I might reveal more in a day or two, but I don't talk about it much because my conversations with Rumble were very, very, very harsh.
What about? What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean?
I should have waited to talk publicly about the Kick thing until I basically terminated my Rumble contract. I've got a ton of respect for everybody who works there. Everything is cool. I appreciate those guys. Like, all of them are really cool. I don't have anything bad to say about Rumble. But, like, I read that contract, like, 20 times before I decided to pull the trigger on other things. And so when I went to talk to them, I basically said, like, hey, like, I appreciate you guys. I'm going to terminate my contract. And then the conversation got a little bit aggressive, but like there's no penalties. Like, I'm literally indemnified against all damages. There's no the termination clause doesn't have any penalties listed anywhere. Like, I offered up front to pay back like anything, but they were a little bit irked by that. But I don't know if I want to talk publicly about the Kick stuff before. I should be sealed away with that, I think, in the next 24 hours, basically.
So you said there was no termination clause for your Rumble contract? Is that what?
Well, no, I didn't say that because I don't know if I can say that. So.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. What were you saying about the termination thing?
Just like I'm like the contract is written like very generously. Like I said, they're cool guys. I have everything bad against it. Like, in the overall scheme of things, in terms of like Rumble versus Kick, like it's really hard to say which platform would be more successful. I really do believe that on the fundamentals, I think that Rumble is doing a lot of really amazing things. Kick just happens to be where everybody's going right now. But yeah.
Okay. That's interesting. This is like this is literally like sports shit. Like with drafting. That's literally what this is. You know, which team is he gonna sign with? You know, and shit like that. That's fun. It's fun.
Yeah, it's just gonna come down to I don't know. It's gonna come down to whether or not Kick is sustainable. That's gonna be like the big thing. Is can they begin to generate profits somewhere? And what is that going to look like, basically?
Does it even matter if they're generating profits? I mean, if it's the whole point is not the whole point.
Depends on how much money they're hemorrhaging and whether or not they want to continue doing it.
Yeah, I imagine. The thing with like, doesn't Stake have like, well, I mean, Kick is owned by Stake, right? I'm not false.
Yeah.
I don't. People keep saying this, and I'm not convinced. I don't think the goal of Kick is to just be a funnel to Stake. Like, I don't think that just doesn't seem like. Imagine I want to market a product, and it's fucking gambling. It sells itself. Right? If I'm thinking of advertising this product, I can think of a whole bunch of like deals I would do with people to stream on. I could fucking stream it on Rumble if I wanted to, right? I would rather do stuff like that. Why would I take on the monumental effort of starting a whole other streaming platform? That just seems like the most retarded and inefficient way ever to drive users to my site. I'd rather just pay for sponsors on like other streaming. It's like Rumble has assuming the viewership is legit, Rumble has a lot of viewers on some of their bigger streams. I would rather do that than try to build out a whole stream.
Yeah, imagine the issue would be that you would worry about what happened with Twitch, where they would just get banned, and instead they have to worry about that. And if they have because they can't legally promote Stake in the United States at all, right?
Maybe, I don't even know. I don't think they can on Twitch. I don't know what the regulations around all that shit are like. But it's just, I would imagine that their goal should be to build a successful streaming platform, like with Stake basically being the primary funders right now. I think I just made that up. I think they are. That's what it says at least. But I imagine they want to build it to work. But, I mean, who knows? I mean, I can't say. I'd tell you what the CEO told me, but obviously the CEO is going to tell me one thing. It may or may not be true. So yeah, but
I'm fucking hyped up. Steven, I need to get what is LSD different than acid? Or is it the same thing? No, it's not. Okay.
Oh wait, LSD is acid?
I think so.
Oh, I didn't know that. I've learned, like, I recently learned that Molly and MDMA, they're the same thing, right?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Kind of. I mean,
Oh,
So LSD stands for lysergic acid, like diethylamide or some shit, or diethylamine or something. I don't know, but it is acid. Molly is a like a fun name for a lot of different types of things. There's a thing called MDMA, okay, and that's like the happy fun drug. But usually, people don't just take MDMA to cuddle with people because people are boring and they don't want to just cuddle. They want to go dance and do other stuff. So usually, what they'll do is they'll cut the MDMA with another drug. So some form of amphetamine, so speed or meth or whatever the fuck street names, I don't know, whatever other upper you would cut it with, and that's usually sold as ecstasy. But some people also call it Molly, but some people also would call like that MDMA, even though it's cut with another chemical. So if you want pure MDMA, you have to buy it and test it, or make sure you're requesting it and then test it, and make sure there's not any other sort of amphetamine in there. But yeah.
Okay. I need to. If you were to, let's say you have a girl who hasn't really tried too many any of the family of psychedelics, would you recommend shrooms, acid, or?
Are you talking about Grace right now?
Shut up. If you were
Personally, this is personal. I mean, like if you're trying to like break somebody's mind open and get them to fall in love with you, MDMA is like the love drug. That's the thing you use for that. If you're trying to just like have somebody have like a really cool magical time, me personally, and based on people I've talked to, I think LSD is a really good fun thing for that. But mushrooms is a little bit too challenging, can be a little bit too scary, can be a little bit if you don't dose it exactly right. Like there's a lot more that you have to do, I think, to make mushrooms into a good time, to have a good experience. Whereas LSD is so much easier to handle.
These niggas are brewing a love potion over here. What the fuck is this degeneracy right now? You guys are literally doing some witchcraft.
If you want to truly brew a love potion, there's something called candy flipping, which is where you do, depending on how long it takes you can do LSD, and then in an hour you can do MDMA. And what will happen is you can line like a peak LSD trip up with a peak MDMA experience, and you're gonna like fall in love with somebody else.
I've never been able to do that.
Walter White, if he was Cupid, what the fuck? He's a chemist, just brewing the. What is this?
Me and Sushi tried to do that. She ended up just fucking in the hospital, dude. We tried to candy flip. It was so fucking lame. I want a candy flip so bad. I've done everything except for mixing them, but like every time I do,
I feel like it would like destroy my mind. I don't know if I'll ever do that because I feel like it would just be such an unbelievably amazing time. I'm worried that I would get like actually fucking addicted or like hooked.
Really, I feel like whenever I have have you ever had sex on MDMA or even shrooms?
What you have had sex on MDMA?
No, I'm asking, you've had sex on MDMA but not shrooms?
I haven't. I can't at all. I can't try it. I literally cannot get an erection on MDMA. It is impossible for me, which is sad because it seems like it'd be fun. But
have you ever tried like pills or whatever? Are a lot of people take like Viagra?
Like you're talking about like Cialis or whatever?
Yeah, whatever the fuck it is that gets you hard.
No, I haven't. But I haven't. I tried to do a lot of research on Drake Hard, and I haven't read research at all into it.
Dude, every single time I've had sex, I'm always comparing it to the time I had sex on Molly. It was the best fucking thing ever in my life. Shrooms as well. Like shrooms and Molly, sex just absolutely fucking ballistic. Were you
using one of those like big pills, the erection things, Cialis or whatever, when you were on MDMA, or can you just get an erection?
No, I could have just got an erection. I don't know what's up with me. I think I have some weird shit.
Maybe I could take MDMA.
I mean, maybe, dude. You should. I don't think you should take MDMA at all if you want to get an erection, man. You're gonna like. It's gonna take you like 3 business days.
It's just a stupid ED thing. It's a stupid ED.
Yeah, dude. This guy. No, what was it? Was it you or dude? Ben was trying to argue with Nadoosh, right?
Yes.
Dude, I'm sorry. Dude,
fucking insane, but yeah.
He argued with Nadoosh. He was trying to argue that fucking you can cure ADHD and you can cure bipolar, dude. It was the fucking stupidest thing ever. But anyway, I was saying, can you cure like ED? Can you cure that?
There's probably a couple of things that you could do.
Well, you got to be careful when you say ED. First, you have to figure out if it's psychogenic or if it's like an actual physiological. If you've got like physiological problems related to cardiovascular stuff, then I don't know what causes that, but you would have to address that medically or physiologically. But some people have ED, but it's related to like psychological stuff, right? They can't get an erection because they've watched too much porn, because they think about bad things, or whatever. So you have to figure out what's causing it. It can either be psychological or psychogenic, and then they go from there.
Dude, can I be like 100% honest with you? Like I was just gonna I'm gonna get clipped right now. It's gonna be so bad. After the whole Grace and everything thing, I legit got high out of my fucking mind, and this person that I was with was attempting to go down on me, And I swear to you now, my mind went to the darkest place ever, and I just could not get hard, cause I was like, dude, cause the shit that John was telling me, I was like, dude, no fucking way.
Were you thinking about Grace and her dad? Is that what you're?
I was like,
because that's what it sounds like.
I'm just telling you, bro, that shit fucking mess, dude. I don't.
People are gonna make their own assumptions, so you'd probably do away with them if.
I was just so mentally fucking shattered, dude. Because I cried the whole night. Not the whole night, sorry. I cried for a little bit the night. And then the next day I was like, dude, this is such a fuck scenario. Such a fuck scenario. And then when I got like with a person and we were being sexual, it was so fucked and it was still in my mind that it just like ruined the whole thing for the whole night for me. And I just couldn't I couldn't get into the mood to like do anything sexual because it's just such a like. So we talk about mental parts of it. I'm like, yeah, sure, because something happened recently. So I don't know about you, really, but I think you. I don't know what your life is like, but like I'm imagining yours is just like your pee-pee can't get hard. But like if you got some shit going on, like because I know you get nervous around girls and you're nervous all the time. Like you're not gonna like you're gonna.
Sometimes
you're in your head. So I'm like, yeah, I can imagine.
Sometimes, it was even a problem with my long-term partner, and I was not in my head for the vast majority of that.
What?
It was even a problem with my long-term partner, and it was not. I was not in my head for the vast majority of that. No.
But you said you. Never mind.
Go ahead.
You said you had a lot of sex with her.
I did.
How do you?
It was still a problem. Like it took me like 45 minutes, oftentimes, to get going.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. Well, that sucks. I did that once with there's one girl that I super liked hooking up with. It was really fun. I think I told this on stream before. We watched Uncut Gems before, and I just had to lean over.
Oh.
I was like, see ya. My mind was fried after that movie. I felt so bad.
Yeah, I think I felt the same way after EEAO when I saw that. I saw that in theaters with
the fuck is EEAO?
Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Oh. I've never watched that.
I saw it with Zella, and we were supposed to have sex that night, and I was kind of bothered. I messaged my mom right after I saw it. I was like, you got to see this. Like we should all go see it. I messaged my. Just trauma dumping. But I messaged someone that I had fucking bad shit with, and I was like, dude, can you go take my grandma to go see this movie and like let me know? And I literally I was like, I'll cash app you the money to do it because I knew they were like down bad, but I knew they had a car and they could pick up my grandma and take her to go, and because I knew my grandma would love it. And that night, because it was.
Did Graham get there?
The Graham never got there.
Wow.
No, she never got there. I was really upset. Actually, like the week after, because I was like, I kept messaging him every day. I was like, did you take Grandma over? And
I'm sure it's on a streaming service. Just get it for her.
I will have to do it.
I'm so curious. Do you ever run into girls that like are shy about you going down on them?
Every single dude. I didn't.
Oh yeah.
I'm just gonna be TMI. I didn't even go down on.
Nope.
I didn't go down on my ex for at least multiple, the majority of the time. But yeah, every girl, even if they don't even like stink, they're just like weird about it.
That's such a. I run into like I would say that like probably 20% of the girls I've been with have like a huge issue where like you almost have to like convince them like, hey, like I don't feel weird. I don't feel like I have an obligation or whatever. And it's like and you can tell like and then for some of them they're just like. You can tell they're so uncomfortable the whole time. It's like, okay, I guess like let's move on because you're like clearly like super lost in your head about this. It's crazy how many girls have issues with that.
Yeah, I think I do a pretty good job of reassurance and like letting people know stuff. Like that it's like, hey, this is good. This is like I'm not like affected by anything or whatever's going on. But like still, even with like I don't know, a lot of girls don't. I feel like it has to be similar to like when you go like when a girl starts touching on my taint, I get a little like like all my sweat goes down there. Like that's weird. So I imagine a girl probably has like the same view.
I've never had that
but like the thing is like eating like if a girl sucks my dick, it's gonna be way different than like if they're like licking your. It's relatively the same thing as like licking your pussy. But I mean like a lot of people just scared that it stinks or it's nasty or they've had like some weird like experience.
I think they've had an experience in the past where if somebody says one thing one time to you, you're like mentally
like fucked
for like
the
the rest
whole
of your
time.
life.
Yeah, no, that's what I figured from everyone I talked to. It's like they're just worried that they usually say it's worried that it's gonna like taste bad. I'll be for real.
Yeah, but then it feels like the problem is that like there's nothing you can do to reach out because if you don't try enough, they're just gonna like leave it alone and you won't do it. And if you try too hard, then it feels like you're being inauthentic or ungenuine, disingenuous. Yeah, it's stupid.
Yeah, the only way I've seen a solution to that is like when you have to play like as like a dommy guy and you're like, okay, you're gonna sit there and you're gonna let me in, and like usually they'll just succumb. Not to be like, I hope this isn't like too weird. This is like so TMI, but like legitimately, unironically, the way I've only been able to do that. Especially with my ex, is just I had to pretend I was like big tough guy, like just sit there and get this, and then they would did that, and eventually they'd enjoy it. But like you had to just pretend that like it was like torture for them.
I understand. I know what you're talking about, but it feels like you could do that with fucking 100%. I think you could even do that with fingering. I don't know if you could dom somebody into like getting head because I think they. Or maybe you could, I guess, if you've done it before. Maybe I haven't tried hard enough, but it just seems like
the Zerka take or whatever. There's no masculine way to go.
There is a masculine way to do it. It's like
isn't that what Zerka says or whatever?
Yeah. I mean, the thing is that so I guess the way I do it in the
Zerka's just fucking lazy. He just is backwards rational and he's fucking lazy.
Okay, so the way I'm kind of cheating because I have the okay, oh, dude, I'm asking sexual questions. So strange. Do you have straps for your bed?
No. You should I don't have like a real headboard either.
Oh, you don't need a headboard. I don't have a headboard either. You should just buy like it's like $60. You go to a sex store. You can buy these straps and go under your bed. You can have them there. Literally, when I'm taking like dom, it's like usually when I'm like tying a girl up because girls like to be tied up. But then if you're going down on them, it's like a whole thing where it's like okay, like they're gonna have to like let me do whatever. Like the whole concept is that you're gonna do whatever you want to them. So I'm going down on them. It's like a sexy way where it's like dominant. I'm not like grabbing their legs and forcing them down. I'm like I'm gonna go ahead and go down on you. It's usually we're in the context of tying someone down and like already doing something that's like I'm gonna do what I want with you regardless. So they're okay with it. Yeah. It's like cheat codes. I'm telling you, the Tachi wand is cheat codes, and the fucking the tie down thing is pretty cheat codes because every fucking woman in the world is a fucking sub. So you could just
you gotta be for the Hitachi. Like I feel like half the women I'm with, you have to like wrap it in a t-shirt or something. Usually even on the lowest setting, it's way too intense.
It is too intense. I legit I usually wrap it around like my shirt when we're like doing stuff, and then I'll do it that way. Yeah, no, it's way too fucking intense. Or I'll do it like I'll use it like for foreplay. Oh god, this is so much. I use it for like foreplay outside of like their undies, and then they're like, oh okay, this is nice. And then that'll be
No, that's a really good thing too, yeah, because you have some kind of like layer of protection.
Yes, I can contribute because I also have sex.
You do. Dude, Ahrelevant was telling me all about his how he likes to do like a whole RP story when he has sex. I don't know. Actually, am I leaking your stuff? Or is this like you?
I mean, you are leaking my stuff, but I don't.
Have you talked about it?
No.
Yeah. Oh, dude, really likes to like have a whole.
No, the whole difference was about talking.
What can you explain?
How you don't like talking, and I find that a lot of women enjoy talking. Like when you say
women absolutely love it, but I feel the same as you. I fucking hate something I've been doing to break myself out of this. There's some girl that likes me to record like 30 audios for her, so I've been trying to do that. But oh my god, dude, I hate my voice. Yeah. I think when you're used to hearing stuff like talk college shit all day, like hearing yourself, because you hear yourself when you're talking dirty, it's like the most unnatural fucking thing in the world. Oh my god, it makes me cringe.
Would you say something too that's like so off? Like when I'm saying like when I say like yeah, daddy wants you to do this. It just sounds so. It's not. I would never say that normally. It just sounds so fucking bad, and like coming out of my mouth. So because it sounds weird, and I know I'm about to say something that I don't usually say, my voice starts quivering, and then it's like right when I'm like doing stuff, I'm like whenever like I usually when I'm like about to have sex with girls, I just want something to get consent or whatever. I'm like, do you want me to fuck you? And it's like easy. It's like usually like, do you want me to fuck you? And it's like we move on. But then it's like, okay, do you want me to finger your tight little pussy or something? I'm like,
the worst too is like if you accidentally like if your voice cracks and you stutter and they don't hear you, you're like fucking somebody and you're like, you want me to come with you? And you're like, wait, what did you say? And I was like, you want me to try? Like, bitch, just finish. Oh man,
yeah,
dude.
I recently I said something really easy. I was like, you like that, don't you? But I said it like with a weird like accent, and it's just like it threw me the fuck off. We just got into this Airbnb with like a guy that was British, and like I was doing like a British accent the whole night because I thought it was really funny, and they thought it was funny. So like during it, I just like came out while I was doing it, and it sounded really fucking cringe, and it was just like I was just like, dude, I don't know how. Really, it could naturally do. I'm assuming then. Really, can you give us some lines?
Oh hell no, absolutely. Oh, absolutely not. But I would say in general I'm pretty decent at it. Like I've gotten very comfortable with it.
That's because you listen to ASMR all the time.
Hey, Steven likes ASMR, I think too.
What?
Yeah, I think he listens.
Yeah, but when I listen to these guys who do like, because there are guys who do erotic audios and shit too. These guys have voices that sound like I don't know, like a dark beer mixed with like a buttery molasses. It's like the sexiest fucking shit in the world. And then I think of like my voice. I'm like, do you want me to stick my cock in your pussy and like fucking comment you? Like that's what I hear anytime I'm talking to a girl. are you ready to fucking come on my dick? Like, it just sounds so horrible. Like, I can't. Like, just shut the fuck up. Like, moan or something. Fuck, Jesus, I can't do it. I can't do it.
Yeah, true.
Ugh.
No, true. I feel like it's something I have to break out of my
Your comfort zone with?
I make out of my comfort zone with, and I think I've gotten a lot better at it.
I think you'll just get used to it. At least that was the process with me. You get used to it, and then especially because a lot of women like it, it will get you like more confident in doing it.
No, it's 100% true. You have to get out of your own head. Like, it's stupid. It's irrational because of it. It's like, I've met so many girls who, like, I'm embarrassed by the sounds that I make. I'm embarrassed by the way my voice sounds. I've never met a girl who, like, sounds bad when she's orgasming or sounds bad when she's, like, making noise. Like, it's always hot. So they probably feel the same way, I imagine, about, like, the guy, too. Like, as long as he's trying and saying stuff, like, it's good. But
I mean, I've heard girls that are pretty bad when they're orgasming. They make, like, those fake noises or whatever. Not, well, I guess actually orgasming is different than, like, whatever the fuck it is.
I've had two girls that do that play it up a lot, and I'm like, you have to stop. Like, I can't get into this. I don't actually say that. I just champion through like a warrior, but yeah.
What? Oh yeah. It's like such a. It's. Oh yeah. No. Wait. What are you gonna?
You said he champions.
I mean, yeah, no, that's what you gotta do, bro. That's what you gotta do. No, I understand.
Well, because you're like, I'm like rolling my eyes. Like, you'll be like going to like touch a girl's pussy, you like lick like the outside and heading her clit. She's like, and I'm like, oh my god, like, come on, dude. Like, it's a two-person show here. Like, what are we doing?
And you power through like a war.
Yes, I know. That's.
I'm sorry. The words that he chose to pick. Oh my god.
People do that. I don't know if you guys do this well, but okay, never mind. I was just talking about.
Honestly, you just gotta power through. You ever ask somebody to give you like really bad head?
Dude,
either their mouth is too small, it's too toothy, they're using their hand too much, but like, I don't want to like pull her up in like 2 seconds. So like, okay, I'm gonna give you like 90 seconds on the clock to do this. You feel like you're doing something good, and I'm gonna be like, oh, I need to fuck you right now, baby. Like, oh shit, dude, that's the worst.
Yeah, no, I literally had like a fucking like cut on my penis because someone's using their teeth, and I was just like, okay, like I'm telling you, like maybe less teeth, but then she keeps using teeth, and I'm like, okay, like what the fuck am I supposed to like? I could just tell her to stop, but then if I tell her to stop, she's gonna be insecure the whole night about like just doing anything else, and I'm like, because she's like, oh, I couldn't do this, so I'm like, okay, like how can I think of some like way to move this on?
The way, if you're trying to give feedback during sex, and you're trying to move somebody off of it, you always have to always phrase it as a positive, and you can get out of any bad situation. There was this one girl that I used to hook up with that was so bad at sucking dick, but surprisingly, she could get me off with her hand pretty well. So sometimes when she'd go to blow me after a little bit, I'd always be like, oh, like I really like making out with you. Like, can I kiss you while you jerk me off? Because then it doesn't sound like you're saying you suck at something. It sounds like you like something so much more that you wanted to come up and do it. But if you phrase things like positively, I'll do this too. Sometimes when girls when girls are riding, some girls ride in very irresponsible ways, and you don't know if your dick's about to get snapped off. You could say shit like, "Oh, like I really want to take you from behind. Like I really love the way your ass like fucking ripples off my hips when I fuck you." Like when you do stuff like that, it always feels like, "Oh, like I want to do the next thing because it sounds like fun and exciting," rather than like, "I need you to stop what you're doing right now because I'm not into it." You know. You can, if you ever give a negative correction during sex, you're like, "Fuck," you're like, yeah, you're gonna destroy the whole mood, and the person might never want to see you again. You know.
Yeah, no, that generally, so the, what's it called, the positive reinforcement, I guess, it's like, I'm like, oh, like, I really just want to fuck you, make me want to fuck you, like, when they're sucking my dick, whatever, and it's, like, really bad, but then, like, I don't know, the specific person I did this with, they were like, no, I want you to come in my mouth, I'm like, okay, well, okay, I guess, like, it's like, okay, and I'm like, okay, well, no, I'm like, okay, no, we can just have sex, like, I really want you really badly, and it's, but yeah, no, I need to work on being able to say I'm very good at saying things in positive ways. I think moving stuff along, but I think just like doing it in like a more of a sexually dominant way is what I need to.
I'm the exact opposite.
What?
Like I have a very difficult time transitioning into anything like different than whatever the fuck we're doing. I find that very difficult. But like just like being sexually dominant, at least with like saying things and stuff, is like pretty easy.
I can imagine your nerdy ass voice in my ear, dude. I'd fucking bop you if you ever said something with that. Dude, I can listen to your voice, and I remember that one time you talked to that one girl, and there's that clip of you like asking her if she wants to kiss your lips, and I was like, this guy's so cringe.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of other shit I'm really, really cringe about, but when it comes to sex, I feel pretty decent about my ability to say things.
That is crazy. Well, I mean, like, one has to carry, right? If you're gonna do the thing, you gotta be like, I mean, like the ASMR, if like you listen to stories and stuff like that, I guess that kind of helps. Maybe I should just listen to more stories and just more like.
I don't think ASMR has literally anything.
I think it does because it's like storytelling and like you're more familiar with it, right? Like it's just like
it's not there. You can literally go to like I think Gone Wild Audio on Reddit has probably the largest repositories of sexual audio. Like you can hit up stuff like that, listen to what those people say, and then yeah.
Yeah,
What was that you said?
It's called Gone Wild Audio on
Gone
Reddit.
Wild
We'll have
Audio.
erotic audio.
Muted. Okay, I'll have to check out. Okay. All right. Well, what are we doing today? What's the vibes? Am I gonna save Grace or no? I think we decided that the answer is
No.
up in the air.
No.
I think we decided it's up in the air,
Oh,
and
God.
we'll see if I need to spend the night. I need to spend a night on it. It's 11:41 p.m. I didn't even know that.
I should have just given Steven like a tier 5 sub to just hard line commit you to not doing it. To just say no.
It was good. It was good content. I like that's like, but that's like the thing. It's like it's also like it's like someone's fucking life, dude.
Yeah, I know it's good content. It's just bad for you, and I also think it'll be bad for her long term. I don't think this situation is going to be good for either one of you.
What do you mean it'll be bad for her long term?
Like what I think.
I mean, I don't think it can't get much worse for her unless you
Yeah.
do something that provokes the dad to like kill her.
Yeah.
Yeah, so here's how I think this is probably going to end up going out if it goes out anyway. You're going to try to be friends with her. She's either going to want something more or she'll end up being friends with you. You guys are going to get close. You're not going to be able to handle the pressure that Ben puts on you, and then you're going to abandon her.
What pressure is Ben gonna put on me? That dude's a
Nigga,
fucking
we
dork.
just talked about it.
Wait.
Like where like he's gonna get groypers involved and shit like that, and he's gonna make any kind of content that you make outside of this whatever dumb shit, like a hell to live. And then you're gonna be like, oh well, I can't talk to you anymore, and then you're gonna drop her like a bad habit.
I mean, like he can't. The guy Ben can't get rapers involved. I don't think they're not gonna like take orders.
Yeah, I don't think they're that they're gonna be his personal army.
Oh my God. Okay, Darius, I got an epic mission for you. Okay.
Okay.
Oh.
How well do you think you can look like me?
Like a good 65%.
You think you could get that to like 85, 90%?
Yeah, I can do that. Just need to not work out a little bit more. But yeah, no, I can do that.
Okay, listen, I got a commitment. Okay, that is coming up. Wedding between two people. I
Okay.
need you to.
I asked for an invite already. They didn't give it to me, but I can change it
Not
up.
in
Okay.
on the memes.
I can wait. When is it? When is it?
Lore for the loreless.
I don't remember, but I need you to go there impersonating me. Okay, I think you can handle it.
I think I can. That'd be cool. It'd be like a cool little weddings crashers moment too. It'd be fun. But no, but I can,
yeah.
not wedding crash, but I can go over there and I can dress up. Why didn't he invite me to the wedding? I'm pretty much involved.
Lord.
That's a good question. You should go be indignant. Yeah, true.
I did. It's Mr. Mooten and Pikachu. They're getting married.
Oh, white people happy.
Yeah, I was cringe as fuck.
That's adorable.
Yeah, contractual relationship. Pog. Let's go. Okay, dude.
Huh?
Ooh,
What?
It's a dude. Why are white people happy and getting married, bro?
Because marriage can be pretty adorable sometimes.
That's
I
Joe
don't.
Boulder to you?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I can see where you're like a trad guy, right?
I'm not.
You want a trad wife, don't you?
I definitely do. That was literally what Malik was shitting on me for, is because I didn't want one, and she is.
Well, you
one.
want a wife that stays at home
No.
and just does. Well, that's pretty much what you want, right? She said she
do you listen to anything he said? Jesus.
She literally doesn't like me because I don't want that. She wants to be a trad wife.
She
and
said
I
she wants
don't
to. No, she said she wants to travel.
You know, oh, sorry, right there. But then she also talked about trad wife shit.
Oh, what do you want that's not trad wife?
I would like my wife to have a career.
But what if she just stayed inside and played video games and then cooked you meals?
I mean,
But then you were able to support. Let's say you had XQC money.
well then I guess that's fine. I
Then-
would prefer to have her be a dual income household though.
Okay. I mean, that's like modern day trad wife.
Is
Like,
it?
'cause- yeah, because everyone has to fucking. You need two people in the house to pay rent.
Well, how is that trad wife though?
It's like modern day trad wife. You know
Well,
I
what
mean?
makes it trad?
Yeah, I guess you're right. I guess you wouldn't.
Because she doesn't even need to make
Yeah,
meals.
no.
One of my dreams, it's been a dream of mine. I want to make food with my wife. I want specifically as well. I have this fantasy, a lasagna. I want to make a lasagna with my wife.
Jeez
It's
Louise.
specifically a lasagna.
I can't wait till we're like 30 and we are over this. And I'm like, I can just do whatever the fuck I want. I don't have to think about all these things about saving mentally ill women or thinking about going and doing all this dumb shit. Instead, I'm just cruising off my own personality that I've fully formed. Just need like 5 more years. 5 more years, and I'll be.
That's never I'm 34. I still do it. Okay, you know, it doesn't have to stop just because you turn 30.
You know, it happens like this is happening to like every fucking 3 months for me, bro. So I need to, as long as it doesn't happen every 3 months, I'm sure.
As long as what doesn't happen every 3 months?
This whole thought process of mine.
Of like looping? I mean, that's on you.
Yeah, you know who messaged me? Crazy enough, I haven't talked to her in months. But like the one girl who messages me during the fucking while Grace is actively like burning my stuff is fucking Hannah. Hannah messages me and then she's like, "Oh, let's hang out, let's like do stuff." I'm like, "Bro, am I just getting like pile drivered into the fucking ground right now? Like, why is everyone just like?" And I'm like, "Why do I even care though? I should just go home and like do something else." This is so fucking.
Listen, dude, you know what they say: when it rains, it pours. You know.
True. Do you have plans to do anything on? Are you still? I'm assuming you're still doing kick or keep now, right? Oh, I saw Quentos is doing the.
Yeah, sure.
He's doing the what's it called thing now? Gondog. Type shit.
Oh yeah, like the theater shows and stuff.
Yeah. No,
What do you think I should pay him every show? What do you think it's a fair wage for him?
If he does anything like last show, nothing. But every show.
Wait, to pay who?
Quentos.
Quentos is getting a wage?
Is he gonna co-host? He should probably get a wage, but he's getting.
I feel like if I'm offshoring like all of the responsibilities, so getting the yes, like all of that shit, yeah.
If he's doing, and is he doing the recruitment once a week, or is he doing it multiple days a week?
I don't know how much he feels like he needs to have a good show, I guess. Huh?
If he's doing the recruitment episodes, because Gondok did it like multiple days throughout the week. And
wait, he's doing recruitment streams?
Gondok was when he was doing that stuff.
I'm asking, is Quentos doing that, though?
Yeah, that's what he's going to be doing now. He's doing it multiple days throughout the week. So that's going to be like his content now. And I mean, like, he's going to get paid from Kick. I bet like 500.
How much is a wage? Is that what we're being asked for him?
How much would you make from a Kick or keep?
I would pay Quentos $500 million a year. That's his starting price, okay?
Wow.
I'm nothing less for my boy Quentos.
Bro, you're such a dick.
Nothing less.
He's not going to move to America.
Nothing less.
He's not going to move to America. He's not going to hang out with you.
He'll move.
He won't move. I mean, if he's making it his main content now, I mean, like, I pay him good. I mean, it's like 4 or 5 hours of content. It's $100 an hour. So, like, for I think your kick or keep thing is, I think that's good enough. Pixie update. I just got piped. Is that what Pixie just said?
Wait, is that real? There's no way she would type that, right?
Did you know this about Pixie? Why did Pixie just say she just got piped? Who's she talking about?
No way.
It's real? She did say that. How do you feel about that, Ahrelevant? I just got piped Pepe hands? Oh, I think she meant like she got a pipe thing. Like a pipe thing sent to her. Oh my god.
Why would she word that in the funniest way? I don't know, she's funny though.
I don't know.
She's funny
though. I don't know. Dude. Steven, can I say something about I think you probably hung out. Have you hung out with? You have hung out with Straight in person.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts about Straight in person?
She seems a little psychopathic, but she seems pretty cool for the most part.
Psychopathic.
Psychopathic? What do you mean by that?
Not psychopathic. She just seems a little edgy, but she seems cool. I haven't had like any bad experiences with her. But...
She is edgy. Yeah, I think she's pretty cool. I think she's a dime. I think.
Why did you have a bad experience with her?
No, I had a great experience with her. I just feel like I'm just like the thing is like I just don't like my stuff is like I follow you, right? But I follow you in the way that's like come in or come out, come in or come out. I'm doing my own thing. I don't really pay attention. I don't really give a fuck about all the politics and stuff around. And I kind of just I kind of just experience what's going on. I'll listen to a couple things and that's it. I feel like Aaron knows a lot about like internet stuff, like a lot. Like there's a time where you're like she heard like you talking a little bit about like a debate and she was like, oh, that's exactly the Voshfest what's called debate. And I was like what, dude? I didn't even know this. I didn't even know this. So I was just like I feel like I was a little bit.
She does have like a bit of a reservoir of like debate and like online content knowledge.
Yeah, and I feel like I'm like a little out of my.
I mean, she's probably like it's not mean to say like a fan, but I mean like I'm pretty sure she's like a fan of a lot of people's space. She probably consumes a lot of the content.
No, she does. She's very much in it. I just feel I felt like I was so out of my depth. There's like there's specific girls that are like, I just like I can't like and it's I have to learn how to be more versatile, but like I just don't know how to engage. I'm assuming this is probably your issue with Miami girls. You don't know how to engage with them because they're kind of different from what your speed is. Is like, and I realized this too as we were in Miami a little bit. I was like, there's like things I just don't know how to like bond on or a little bit. How can I go?
I mean, that's just a matter of like picking the people that you think you'd be best suited
Yeah,
for it, right?
but I
Like I would never try to like court a Miami girl. I would never work. I'm not gonna destroy my self-esteem or waste my time trying.
really. I mean, maybe if you're like, I was looking at that. I was watching this one thing with Playing with Fire that you did. And I was talking. Actually, I forgot we met fucking Alex from Playing with Fire, and we were talking to him about one of your performances with the one girl who's like speaks another language.
Oh, the one who didn't speak English?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I like it. I mean, even that, I thought that was like fine. Like, if you talk to another girl and you're kind of like a little bit like just like I guess he said it was an interview riz or something. I think you said really.
Yeah, it
I
was
mean,
a
that's like
similar
fine. Just
riz
ask
thing.
them questions, kind of ask them about stuff about them. I mean, like you can kind of like troll around with them a little bit, but I don't think it's like
Yeah, my style of conversation is definitely it's like interview Riz, but I'm probably not a good candidate for his show because a lot of girls are interested in me. So there's a lot of things that you can get away with if the girl is interested with you, but I'm not like chasing girls, right? Like there's not like there's never been, or not for a long time. There's been a girl like there's never been a girl with like no interest in me, and I'm like trying to risk rap. So I don't even know what that sort of interaction would look like. So if I'm talking to somebody and I'm asking questions, generally that's like a really fun back and forth. But if it's a girl who like doesn't know me or doesn't give a fuck about me or doesn't give a fuck about like the things I care about, it's just gonna come off as like an interview. But also like that's not even necessarily like I'm trying so hard and it didn't even matter and she doesn't like me. That's like I'm bored too and I probably wouldn't want to continue anything with that girl like either. Like it's not gonna be fun for either of us because we're so different in terms of personality. But I really don't like women that are fluent in English. I've never been able to get along. Like when I went to Taiwan or any other country, like South Korea, when I was like on Tinder and shit, like looking for girls, I don't like girls that can't speak English because so much of like my humor and everything is very like sarcasm and stuff is like very reliant on you having really commanding use of like the English
Oh
language.
yeah,
So
like
if English,
I remember.
yeah.
I think Melina was talking about that at one point when she was talking about Passport Bros on a podcast. I forget which one it was or whatever. And I remember that too because she had put fuck I forgot. I wish I remember who it was. She had put them in a corner, and it was about I think it was yeah it was about like if banter because they said banter is a really important part of a relationship but also like it was perfectly like it's good for guys to go overseas and like find these women but it's difficult to have banter with somebody who can't even speak English or whatever. Yeah, I remember her talking
And it's
about
not even difficult, it's
Yeah,
impossible
it's
because they'll just like look at you and kind of smile and you don't even know if they would have what you just said.
yeah
I was like,
yeah.
okay.
And I thought that was a really interesting thing because yeah I feel like that'd be hard for even somebody like me who I feel like I have really shit banter. Like I don't think I have very good banter at all. But like, bro, if I can't do any banter at all and they can't do any with me, like I wouldn't even know how to do that.
Yeah, and sitting there with some girl who's like awkwardly laughing, and you don't know if she's laughing at you or if she's just laughing because you laughed a little bit. She didn't understand what you said, but she thinks she needs to laugh. It's like the most awkward fucking interactions in the world. Fuck that shit.
Yeah, I find that to be really difficult, really weird. I think it wasn't at one point. I thought I remember you had made a take. Maybe it wasn't you. Correct me if I'm wrong. About Passport Bros going and finding women who don't have like a very good education and things like this. It was either you were on one side of this opinion or the other, but like being like somebody who like can't cut it and they need to go to like separate places to be able to find these.
Yeah, I
women.
think that's generally like you have a huge edge in other countries if you travel as an American. People assume that you're really wealthy. People like that you're white, especially if you're going to like South America or Asia. Like you just have a lot of big ups, big advantages when you're going to places like that. Probably not going to do as well like in Europe. Like you're probably not going to go to like Germany or France and pick people up as easily. But for people in poor communities or like in certain places in South America, yeah, you definitely can. You definitely have a big advantage because they assume you're wealthy and they like that you're very white. Well, not you. That's not happen.
Thanks for that. Thanks for pointing that out. I really appreciate that, bro.
Your mileage may vary on that one, my friend. Let's say.
Do we have a plan for today, Riley? Or are we just gonna? Are we done? I think the intervention with Grace is going to lead to either like like I said, if I see her in person, I don't know.
You're gonna see her in person. If you
Well,
go to
what if she
California
presses
in the
me?
street.
Well, okay, I don't want to sit here and talk about Grace for like ever, but it's like if she presses me and she like wants to, what she wants like she's outside and she tries to talk to me. What am I gonna do? Is like walk away from her? Or should I just film her like a homeless woman? But it's like that's
Why make realistic plans? You're never walking away from it. You know that.
Yeah, if I'm like, they're like, what do I do? Just like interact with her shyly and just be like, okay, I'm gonna be on my way now. But like, she was. I don't even think she has like, I don't think she's gonna end up going. because like she doesn't have an ID. I don't know how you said she can do like mail and shit like that, but I don't even think Grace has.
Just to be fair, you might not be able to do that anymore. I called ahead, I asked, and they said as long as you have some like mail and shit like that. I told them I don't have.
Somebody linked on the TSA website. Apparently, you can prove your ID in two ways. You just have to call ahead to do it. But...
Yeah.
Well, even if that does happen, I'm not. No, what is this? Oh, okay. Oh, that was racist. I would have just said that. Yeah, I don't know if the thing I told you about. Okay, let's say theoretically, I wanted to contact a lawyer about them burning my stuff and trying to frame me for sexual assault and peeing, and peeing on the bed. I guess that's like, I don't know, it's just like whatever. But like, do you think that would be like a good route to take?
I don't think so personally, but we'll see if Destiny says.
I feel like everything is like so.
I don't think they're gonna take it any further than where it's at, so I would just let it die personally.
Sure. I think what'll happen is this will die off, just like they do kind of every other thing. They kind of just do this meme and then they fuck off.
I feel like everything you guys are involved in is like so entertainment driven and like bombastic and crazy that I don't know if like any lawyer would even want to touch it with a 10-foot pole. Like, here's a family with a daughter being abused by a dad, and I stayed with them, and she said that I raped them or like pissed on the bed, and like I joked about this. Like, it just seems like such a clusterfuck. Like, it'd be really, really hard to iron out. Like, what's the clear defamation? Are they even being serious? Like, we're all public figures for this. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I was like, dude, like, if like the sexual assault thing, and that's where it's like, how do you even have that as an entertainment value? Like, that seems like it's like pretty like not something you can justify as anything like as like just a joke.
To be clear, there wasn't a formal claim or anything like that. No, it was just an implication.
No, she literally said verbatim when we were on the phone, Darius, you sexually touched me inappropriately.
When? Was this recorded?
It would have been on my Kick stream. I don't know if it didn't get recorded, but I should have it on my phone. But it's when I called her, and then she was like, that's when I accidentally leaked her phone number. Whoopsies. Oh, I just dropped that shit. Okay, it's when I accidentally leaked her phone number, and then she called and said, you sexually in touch with her, publicly, goodbye. And then she hung up. And then after that, they can... Oh, Judge Judy. Maybe we can go to Judge Judy.
Oh, yeah, Judge Judy would probably take your case.
Oh, you can submit a case and everything on here. I didn't even know that. I didn't know how people go... I thought you had to call a number to get on these shows. Okay, well, now I know that. Maybe I'll submit it to Judge Judy. Maybe that'll be, like, a good bit. But, like, I'm pretty sure I'd win. I think so, because, like... But maybe, I don't know. It's like I said, like you said, it's kind of like bombastic. So, if anyone like that's serious gives a fuck. I have someone to talk to tomorrow about it for a little bit, but it'll be like short. Okay. All right, Steve. Welp. Got any last words?
No, be careful. Love you guys. Stay safe.
Love you.
Don't die.
See you soon. Bye.
Bye.
Finally, that guy's gone, huh? Yeah, that guy.
What a loser.
That guy was cramping our fucking style, and he's still in the call waiting for us. Weird idea.
Weird.
Now we need to. Now let's call Grace.
Are you actually gonna fucking try and call? He's calling Grace. He actually. Stop. Hang up. Hang up. Hang up the call. Hang up the call. Hang up the call. Hang up. 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 Hang up.
I just want to see if she'll.